Son, we gotta hit him with it.
You got way too much energy right now, bro. I'm not there.
I'm over here goofing off on the
Yeah.
motherfucking trying to get you to bust a move. You don't want to do a
Nah, bro.
little Russell Westbrook.
We got to do it right. Ladies and gentlemen,
We are
we're
back.
back.
And we're live.
That was funny. He didn't even tell us we was live.
He did it. I'm over here trying to get you just
The
let's
ultimate setup.
do one with a. I'm blown away by how the frame. I'm looking at my hands moving at, like the frame rate over there, bro. Like
Yeah, the
my
shit
hands
is
were
lit.
moving
Oh
before
my
I
God.
was.
Jesus Christ.
My hands were moving before
I
I
really
was.
gotta
I was
do
having
something.
too much fun. I was having too much fun. You didn't want to have any fun with me.
I was saying, I said it last week. I was like, these fucking cameras, bro, they go too strong onto the follicles of the hairs.
I mean,
You could see way too
I
much.
accept it, man. It's just as long as my nose hairs don't show, I just,
And then I get the long white nose hair. That shit's mad noticeable.
It is. I had that one. I told you that one. It's like, boom, right there. So that it is like perfect 4K.
Then you go to rip it out and you rip out like 20 others. Now you got teary eyes for the next 20 minutes.
Damn, I mean,
That never happened to you? Really? That shit happens to me all the time, bro.
because you go like and try to get all of
I try to, I
You
dig
don't-
deep.
You don't isolate. You don't try to isolate with like your nail and get
Absolutely
just pull
not.
the one.
I don't have nails. I bite my nails. I've been biting my nails. It's funny because my daughter bites her nails and she's not even 2 yet.
Yeah, I mean, I bite my nails, but not that often.
Like that shit.
Not
But,
that often.
Today's another fantastic day. You guys hear the construction going on outside?
The sounds of New York. If you wouldn't know any better, you wouldn't know we were in the middle of a pandemic, man. I haven't heard these sounds, like these construction sounds and whatnot, and things of the such and sorts and what you calls them, since God knows when, man. It's been so long, and
Starting to feel
just
like
so
home.
thankful, New York City's, I don't know. I don't want to say it's working back. We're not. There's so much that still needs to come back. I'm not going to make that statement. I'm not going to lie to you people. We all who live in New York know it's not back. But, I mean, the sounds of construction, that's one,
We haven't
old
heard it in a
sound
while.
I haven't heard in quite so long. I mean, and then like this, like the jackhammers, like it's been so long. So,
Everybody's just been in a funk, bro. It's like walking in the streets, especially when this shit first started, that, the streets were deserted for a while until the protests started.
yeah, I mean, it's
That
crazy
was
thinking
like-
about how the
like
streets
fucking
were
I Am
during that,
Legend.
man. During the beginning, how empty. Like I know people who did like to make money when jobs went out, when people were ordering Uber Eats and all this shit on the sides, were kept ordering crazy amounts of takeout and shit because everybody what they could get. People were telling me the streets were empty, like they were on local streets going like 80 miles per hour down local streets, like just these avenues that are empty, normally clogged up, and now you can do 60. All the lights are green. You could see the next mile clear.
Didn't you tip like a Uber driver $20 one time?
When we were like that time during the
It was like a curfew or some shit?
when I was at your crib, and it was like, shit, curfew's coming up, man. Gotta get home. And dudes, like I could tell, like, cause I'm pushing it to get home on time, and I'm looking like I walk in the house around like 9:57. Curfew was 10 that night. And like I'm like I walk in the house around 9:57. I'll be all right, dude. I could see him. He was like, like I'm gonna get me another fare. Like, he was like someone was like he was crazy taxiing it. He was really, if I could, anyone who knows, he was crazy taxiing it there, doing what he was doing. And he was out. He was out with the he was with the shits, man.
I don't
And,
remember any of the characters' names from Crazy Taxi.
I don't either. I just remember.
It was always just Crazy Taxi. It
Yeah.
wasn't like
I don't either. I don't remember the names.
that shit was hot for Dreamcast. It wasn't just everybody thought it was just like an arcade shit. No, you could play Crazy Taxi at home. Did they
Yeah.
ever branch out into other systems? Did
I
it
feel
migrate
like
to
it did
Xbox
come
or
out
something?
on the original Xbox and PlayStation 2, like they ported it eventually. But
Because
or
I
it was
remember
part 2 of Crazy Taxi 2.
one of the worst things that could happen is when you're balls deep in a fucking video game and the sequel doesn't come out on the system. That's what happened with Shenmue, bro.
Or the sequel doesn't ever come out, man.
Well, what happened was Shenmue 2 came out, but it was like the Japanese version. If you didn't have like a broken fucking, and then on top of that, you had to get the disc somehow. Nobody else had it out here. Like you had to find that shit online. This was
You had to
before the
like
days
you had
of
to know how
Amazon.
to hack your shit and fucking burn them, and then you had to know how to do that to get those sometimes, man. Or there was like, remember somebody? What didn't you get the action replay that allowed you to play
Yes.
Japanese games on the PlayStation and other
So
shit?
the first thing that I got, because I had a few of them, but the first thing that I got was it was a spring set, and it was tricking your PlayStation to think that the lid was closed, and for some reason that allowed it to play Japanese games and even bootleg games. Then the last joint that I got was when I rigged my Dreamcast, and all I was doing was just downloading every game and burning it to a disc. I don't even remember how the fuck I did that. That shit had to be with a spring too.
I mean, I
But the
remember.
live action replay, that shit was like plug and play.
Yeah, man. I remember. I mean, you know who? I remember he did that shit.
Yeah, he was
I
an
had
expert
remember
at
I
that
had the
shit.
hacked Xbox. I had the modded Xbox. I was doing that with the original Xbox downloading
Before
games.
anyone even knew what a modded Xbox was. Didn't
And
he put emulators on that shit too? He basically turned it into a working computer.
if you know what to do with them, man, I knew someone who he had a modded Xbox, but he put a much larger hard drive in, and he like had a full operating system, and it looked like the original 360 OS, but he had emulators out the ass. I mean, and like all the games you could want to play. He had mad Xbox games loaded up on it. Um, and it was, I mean, it was wild that he had figured out how to do that and work it. And I was there at the crib one day. He showed me. It's just like, yo, this is wild. Like I was like, I've had a modded Xbox, but never nothing this intricate. Like it
I
was.
wonder
like,
when the
man,
first emulator came out. Because
God
I remember
knows.
way back in the day when the only emulator out was some shit called Nesticle. That it was the NES joint. And that shit was MS-DOS based. Like as soon as you open that shit, you get a green screen. It looked like you're fucking at a terminal, at a job, and you're punching in some fucking codes and shit. But it was like now you got fucking OpenEMU, which is it literally has every
I remember
system.
there was one time on the phone. I actually can't remember the name of it, but there was one on the phone, and it was a crazy one. But it was every like system till that time. I can't remember. It was like Happy Chick or some shit like that.
That was the
And
name of the emulator.
but it was every emulator, like it was NES, SNES, Sega, uh, what's this, Neo Geo,
Neo Geo,
had
Coleco.
arcade, Game Boy,
It had
Game Boy
Coleco?
Advance, Game Boy Color. It had to that point. I mean, this was when I had like my G3, so I'm talking. This is like 2015, 2014. So this
All
is
this on a mobile.
on mobile, and you could just download the games you wanted, and you didn't have to have like 12 different emulators on your phone.
I think the legality behind that is confusing to me because essentially they was outlawing emulators and ROMs when that shit first came out. They were saying it was violating the licenses with the companies and all that
Yeah,
shit.
it's like you can't sell it. Like that's the thing. Like you're not allowed.
But then you got, Soldier Boy repackaged his shit. But essentially, they've been selling that shit in China for fucking 20 years already. And it's these little
it's like
systems
when
that
you
have
go
every
to
game
the little
built in.
variety stores and it used to have the fake Game Boys and the 99 games in one, 100.
Yeah, but those games was like Snake, Tetris, shit that was just, pixel based. But when you start putting Mario 3 and
But no, it's
Contra,
like the same shit. Like was essentially like same shit back then. Same thought just now, but that's why like I tell when people are like do it, show people how to do it, give them the apps like, but that's it. Don't tell them how to get to the apps. Like don't send them like, hey, this is it. It's everything goes.
I was thinking about that because, with the live stream hustle, I was putting together the gamer pack, and I'm just like, I was gonna put a link to emulation, but I'm like, nah, I don't even want it. If in case you have emulators and ROMs and you want to do this, I'm not gonna point you in the fucking direction and then catch another fucking lawsuit.
You should
bro.
know how to use emulators and ROMs, man. And even like it says it in everywhere, don't sell this. You can use it for yourself, have fun. Can't profit off it. Can't do this off it and shit. So, I mean, people that don't follow those rules and then get upset and get banned or get sued, get in trouble, man. And they deserve it, man. And it's crazy. We spoke about it. Did we ever speak about it on the air? Because it happened with us, but we didn't. I don't know if we discussed it on the air. What happened with us, how it happened with the NFL quarterback dude, Deshaun Watson, and then
The unlicensed photo.
yeah, like he put it on his Instagram and got mad likes, and the dude got upset and like said that's my copyright, and
I
tried
think
to
I
sue.
said that to Danny last week. I was talking to him about that shit, but I
And
don't think we spoke about it on the air.
and I mean, granted, dude, yes, copyright infringement, this and third, but I think that the way the team
Was it a
handled that,
fan photo or was it a press photo?
it was like a press. I don't know if it was a
So he was
press
on the
photo.
side of the field.
Like he had press credentials and everything. And I guess the fact that he copywrote it, I don't know exactly what it was, but I think the Texans handled that right, saying, "Cool, that's cool, you can totally do that." But now we're gonna,
We stripping your badge.
yeah, they took away his credentials.
Get the fuck out of here, bro.
And now I don't think any other team, what other NFL player is gonna want you taking pictures of them? Like
You just blackballed yourself for a couple of grand.
couple grand in your career. Now you gotta pivot, man. Like, what other professional athlete? I'm saying NFL player. What other professional athlete want to be involved with you after that? Like after you do something like
If
that.
it was a fan photo, like if somebody in the fans took some long distance picture and he posted that shit because he liked it, and they tried to sue him, that's a big laugh. Like, there's no way he'll get away with that shit. Because
Not supposed to be
just
taking-
posting shit on the internet doesn't copyright it.
You're not supposed to be taking pictures at the games anyway. No pictures, no
Really?
video. It says it. No photo or video photography. It says it on the back of your ticket.
But people don't follow that shit.
They make commercials with people's fucking IG clips.
I seen you take pictures at the Jet game. It's like, what the fuck?
I've taken a picture at the game, not of the game.
Yeah.
At the game. At the game and of the game, different. At the game, of the game. It's like at the end of every telecast ever, you cannot be used without the express written consent of the National Football League. Cannot be reproduced, redistributed, or used without the express written condition of the National Basketball Association or its affiliates.
Jesus, you know the whole spiel, bro.
Come on.
You know what that reminds me of? That situation? That reminds me of Ariel Hawani. You know who Ariel Hawani is?
No.
That he covers boxing and UFC, the Jewish dude that had a YouTube channel, now he's working for Showtime and ESPN.
No.
So he was granted access to UFC backstage shit. And somehow he got information and he put the shit out before, and the information was Brock was coming to UFC. So he leaked that on his show, and Dana snatched all his credentials. It's like, yo, you fucked up. And he went on the air and he cried, bro. He did a show where he was crying, pleading. And eventually, because I think he got a deal with ESPN or whatever, so they had to let him back. But
I mean, it's like when you do something like that.
don't
First
jump
off,
the fucking gun.
that's not even don't jump the gun in news. If you have news or breaking news that you know is true, you don't sit on it.
Especially fucking Brock Lesnar, bro. If they were gonna make a big announcement, that's the whole thing was. They were gonna make a huge announcement. It was gonna be a press conference, and before any of that shit happened, it was already out on the media, and they blamed Dana. They blamed Dana for letting him around, so they yanked his fucking credentials. Fuck that.
I mean, that makes no sense. I mean, even there was talk for a while about Brock going to UFC. Even I knew that before and not following that talk. There was a long talk for a while about that. Is that like when he first came and fought like Frank Mir, or like when he came back?
I think that was the first.
Like even when that happened, like it wasn't like a shocker like that. He would.
I think they just wanted to roll it out with a reel. Like they had this whole promo cut that they were gonna play, probably launch it at the end of a pay-per-view. He just jumps in the ring and starts popping shit to whoever won the last match. But he didn't even get a chance to do all that shit because
I mean, if you want to do that, I think you hold that a lot closer, man. There's been stuff that's been held a lot closer to people, man, and that's just, I mean, if you allow someone to get that information, if everyone backstage knows it's happening, it's not gonna be too long before it does leak out.
yeah, man. That just goes to show, man. But people with, I did an experiment one time when I took Cheese to it was a House of Glory, HOG Wrestling. And at the time I was doing Slam Global, so I made, the fake press, and we was walking around the entire place. Nobody said nothing, bro. And it was just like that press, you don't know who's real press, you don't know who's fake press, you don't know what they're there to do, you don't know if they're there for intel. And you just give them
but
free
it's
reign
why
of the place.
why the NBA, MLB, why these big organizations have like press credentials. They hand out credentials among certain, like I'll say, you have to have certain shit. Even to be like actual photographer at a parade or some event, you have to apply for credentials and they have to approve you to get a press badge, like to actually go. Like so, wherever you at, where they let that fly with that, I don't want to say it was a play show, but that's not like
It
how.
wasn't. It wasn't what it should have been. It's like I shouldn't have been able to walk around anywhere that I wanted to. Like that. That's crazy.
Like
But
we've done security places where we had like to wear security badges around our neck with this badge numbered here, and then even like on the other side was a barcode if they had to scan it to make sure it was real.
you ever seen the videos of them people like sneaking into the NBA finals or sneaking into this, and they'll just fucking, if not fake press badges or walking in with the crews. I seen people walk into the venue holding a ladder, and nobody questioned them because they thought that they were maintenance. Just walk in to a fucking game holding a ladder, two guys, and they literally just put the ladder down and walked out onto the court, bro. So it's just like everybody, they're gonna find the in. Ariel Hawani, however he got that information, he got it. I don't think that they was just divulging that shit.
I mean, but it's not hard. But you realize, and this is the thing I tell people: you realize how easy it is. People don't realize to have news sources, how easy it is to like. That's why I don't tell everyone everything. I don't tell people everything going on with everything, especially shit we do. You know, it's because people want to know, and people just want to be in your business. Like it's like we always make the same joke when it comes to like let's say Facebook. Oh, somebody goes on a rant. Everybody already knows what you're talking about. Yeah, if I wanted people in my business, I tell them. You've put people in your business this whole entire time by not shutting the fuck up and going straight to social media. You know, people like that.
I have a question for you.
Shoot.
There was a video that just came out where this guy, I don't know if you saw it, but this guy, he's at a gas station. He goes up to the thing, and he punches in a bunch of codes, gets free gas, basically giving an instructional video. Is that not a crime to put that kind of shit out?
It should be, especially if that's not, because that's usually an internal code to know.
Yeah, he
Just
basically gave out.
You have to know, like I'll say like this, when it came to my former job, my former employer, in order to access certain shit on their terminal, to lock it out, open it up, print shit out, turn off the alarm, you had to know certain keys on the screen to hit to bring up the menu, and then even after that, you had to either have the key card or know the actual code. And in order to access those things, you first had to know what to touch on the screen, where to touch it, what button to press, then how to press the other buttons to access it. And in order to do that, that's only internally known information. That's not information the entire public knows. That's your software designer.
The code to get into our buildings. If everyone had that information, people would just be doing crimes left and right inside people's buildings, whatever the fuck they want.
Word.
So, some shit just needs to be protected. When I first saw the video, I was thinking to myself, if people go out and actually do this shit now, is he also liable for that?
He probably will be. I don't know what they'll say. The person doing it will be held liable if they can prove him, and probably I don't know what they would do, but in some way, shape, or form, like he maybe put himself in a not great position by putting that out there.
And is there any liability on behalf of World Star for reposting it to a huge fucking audience?
I have no idea, but anyone's dumb enough to go do that and think it's a great idea, you deserve what happens. I think what would
Free
make
gasoline.
it more
There's no
fearful
such
for
thing
me
as
would
that.
be the fact that it's actual gasoline that you're just dead
Siphoning.
freely siphoning, and now there's no one worried about using it or anything. Just if people could freely go get gasoline out of nowhere, then
And especially the amount of kids that watch World Star videos. If they just start going midnight, nobody's around with a fucking bucket.
these places that close down, and unless they completely power off their gas machines, which I don't think, because you can still see the lights on them when you pass them.
The only when I was living in Jersey, they did that. They would actually close down gas stations. If the lights was off, you couldn't even get gas.
Up by my girl, like the gas stations be closed, but like I see like some of the lights off in the gas station, but like the machines have a faint light. I can't tell if the machines are actually on, and you could go use them
for
or
like standby mode or some
Yeah.
shit. But out here, that shit's 24/7. Like, this is the city, so I don't know, man. There's too much when it comes to shit like that. There's too many questions, and nobody really knows where the liability ends, bro.
Or the liability lies with something like that, where it starts where it ends. Who's held liable should something happen as a result of that, man? And like this is like that, like I say, man, that like I told you, I saw a profile and this Instagram reel shit, man. Like it's really annoying, man. Like Instagram reels, like
It's
I
like
don't
every
know.
week they come out with some new shit. It's like all different apps that they're just trying to combine into this one thing.
I just don't understand why though. Like I never
But what is
followed
it
any
exactly?
of these hashtags.
I thought it was IGTV.
The IGTV is longer. Reels just I don't even know how Reels really work still. Honest to God, I don't know what it is. I don't understand it. I just know that every time I go to search, where I used to get like the cool Reddit shit that I ended up following, like the horror shit that I sent you a few times.
Yeah.
Like yo, like this would be a dope ass short story. Like you know what I'm saying, or movie short real fast. If you could write, if you could like do this shit right, and then I see like. Like that, I get why you suggest that shit to me. Why I get City Skyline shit. Why I get the game fact shit. Like I told you, that's how I found out the shit on Red Dead Redemption was an Instagram page I follow, like that, and that was suggested.
It was on
to
a
me.
reel.
No, not on a reel. Just like on a regular shit. You know, how they be based on shit you've liked, based on shit you've suggested, based on shit you've read. You know how sometimes that'll be in your search shit when you like just all the shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then like these reels, like I've never looked at any of this shit like this. Like I don't get why you're sending me like thirst traps for reels.
I don't know how the algorithm works, cause I be getting random
Like
shit.
90% of the reels, I'll say 85 to 90% of the reels I get are thirst traps.
I don't know what website I went on at what time, but now you know how they have those little advertisements that pop up. I get advertisements for fleshlights, for fake pussy, for for silicone dolls. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yo, you don't make me
Just trying
spill
to look
water
up
all
some
over
lyrics.
my fucking laptop, bro. Out of all things, I'm thinking you're gonna say something else. Out of all fucking things you say, bro, whatever that like
Because I'm on a regular website now, and you just got a
these
fucking
sponsored
fake doll,
ads, like that's crazy.
a suction cup doll. I'm like, this is easy for the
Like
shower.
I get like Amazon sponsored ads, eBay sponsored ads, Best Buy, like shit I've looked at,
Nah.
Target sometimes. No. Shit like where they're like, well, I've looked at like on another website. Hey, you can buy shelves here too. If you're looking for shelves. Look at all these fucking shelves. I've
Look
never
at this
had anything
silicone
quite
doll
like that. So
with a ribbed anal cavity.
kudos to you for pushing Instagram's algorithm apparently as far as it can go, man.
I'm
Balls
like,
to the wall.
Holy shit! Like, how is this not?
Your sponsored ads, bro. That exposes you, man, right there. What your sponsored ads come up as.
Too filthy, bro. And then that shit travels to all the different websites now. Because once it pops up on one, like, you know how they took over the whole game, bro. I just saw some shit while I was on my way over here that the government is doing like a lawsuit against Google. That they're trying to break up the monopoly of Google. That shit came to my phone today.
I don't want to say makes sense, but kind of makes sense. These tech companies, I don't
They
want to
said
say
the article
too
said that
big.
the last time the government had to get involved with something like this was Microsoft, because they were doing anti-competitive antics, where they was basically monopolizing. I mean, until Apple came along, Microsoft was the top thing.
I mean, I don't know. I don't 100% know, so I'm not gonna comment. But I can understand why the government, or at least this administration's fearful of tech monopoly. I do feel the way some of these
Google
websites
has everybody's
even before.
info.
I've said it before. The way some of these websites now are attempting to decide what's considered free speech. I feel like with censoring some posts, some of the nonsense, yeah, I think flagging it, but they're flat out censoring it and not allowing it to be disseminated. You don't get allowed to dictate free speech, so I can understand some of that. But I can also understand why you don't want your platform used for, nonsense or propaganda. They said Twitter just kicked fucking thousands of fake Trump, black supporter bots off. Like
What,
people
fake profiles?
yeah, Twitter bots, like of phony black Trump supporters. And it's I see people you next Zuckerberg?
And the crazy thing is, most of these other platforms, all these other websites, they have something that people don't really pay attention to. It says sign in with Google. Register with Google. Google has all of this information. They got every website you ever been on, every purchase you ever
I don't
made,
sign it. I don't use
every
that sign
fucking
in with
thing,
Google.
bro.
I don't use that. I don't use sign in with Google. I don't use sign in with
That
Facebook.
shit.
Maybe a game or two. But aside from that, bro, like I actually, if I want to use, I have an email. Like I definitely need these emails going to my actual email, and then I have the old MX2 Alonzo.till.
Yeah.
That email. Like those are
Damn,
the
you
two.
still got that?
I use that as a backup. I have like fucking from when I did real estate, bro. I have like 10 fucking email accounts.
What was
bro.
your first email address?
I don't know if it was the AIM one or my Yahoo.
I had Buff Boricua 44 at one box.
Nah. I had Lonzo _5225 at Yahoo.
Yeah, my shit was always. I had Alicate 1244 for a while. Remember when people used to call me that? Alicate.
Alley Kate. I
Alicate.
used to say that shit.
Nobody
to
knew what the hell it meant.
I was like, yo, what the fuck's an Alley Kate?
I don't even know
Alicate.
who the fuck.
I was like, what
named
the
me
fuck
that
does
shit?
that mean? I don't know, but you ran with it for a long while, man.
I think it was Ricky. You remember Ricky? I think Ricky was the first person to fucking call me Alicate. And I don't even know why he did that. I think he was just drunk one day and said that shit and it stuck.
Stuck. So it happens though, man. You ever hear people say how their nicknames happen? Sometimes, like in movies, one day it's stuck for life, man.
Was
Shit.
Linda there when we came up with Bud and Roach?
Yeah, she was. That was the day you said the napkin tastes like turkey. You remember that shit, don't you?
I remember that.
Yeah, man. We had some when we used to hotbox that bathroom. That was fucking crazy, man.
I don't get high like I used to. Like I smoke more than I ever have, but I don't reach that level to the point where I'm eating tissue anymore.
I don't know what inspired you to eat that eat tissue
I
and
was
napkin.
fucking high.
You were high. Like I've never been so high I was inspired to taste the napkin.
Holy shit.
Never been that fucking high. So just want to throw that out there.
And she was ripped too.
We were all ripped.
We was ripped, bro. That small ass bathroom, zero ventilation.
That shit was the steam box right there, bro. We had a lot of good times in there, man.
Why do we go in the bathroom if we smoked
In the
apartment?
beginning, we didn't smoke in the apartment. We always used to hotbox the bathroom in the beginning. And then we
Man, that shit feels like a lifetime ago, bro.
fucking,
And what's funny is it's literally
it's like
down the block.
it's down the block, but the
We're
wild
talking
shit is
about.
it is almost a lifetime ago. It's like 10 fucking years ago.
Yo.
Like it's 2020, bro. Like I hurt my back in 2012. You were already living there like almost 2-3 years by the time I hurt my back.
Shit, bro.
Think about that. Like you were there for a while, man. We're thinking that's a good 10 years ago now. We reached back, bro. Like it's fucking 2020.
I started Morning View there. It's like that's how long ago this shit was, bro.
Yo, like I was watching yesterday.
Shout
I was
out to
watching
Morning View.
yesterday. I was watching Click I was watching Click on
Or you gotta send me Vella's
on
email
Yahoo,
too.
yeah. Trying to remember where the fuck
That
I
shit
have
blows
it.
my mind, bro. That literally down the block, we started our radio journey. And now 10 years later, it's almost 10 years,
Almost 10 years later, after we came up with the idea, we're here.
at a full-fledged fucking television production studio here at firstlive.us. Of course, let's get a shot of the computer real quick. 30 Days to Rock. This is going to be... Oh, we got a new mouse, so you guys see it right there. 30 Days to Rock, fall 2020, September 22nd to December 21st. We're going to mix it up. We got live in-studio and mobile broadcasts coming to you by way of First Live Studios here at 219 Central Avenue.
Yeah.
There we go. So Mike Vella is about to come on with us.
And Zo should have it already, but you know him, add him, because he's not, I don't want to say not smart enough to figure it out, but he frequently has that mistake.
Trying to patch in, trying to make sure.
So
All right,
you
so
guys
one of us has to unmute. You have to unmute your mic.
I have to unmute my mic.
So let's hope.
Let's hope it works.
Check 1 2. We got a little feedback.
A little bit of feedback, a bit of echo.
So we're gonna add. God damn it! I don't know why everything is like, and that's another thing that I didn't like, bro. The fact that everything is now thumbprints.
I don't thumbprint. I don't thumbprint shit.
Everything is thumbprints now.
I refuse to thumbprint. I refuse to. I absolutely refuse to thumbprint. I muted the mic back for now.
89@gmail.com. Vella, how long you known Vella?
I've known Vella, 13, 14 years now, man.
You met at
I'm
D&B?
33. I met Vella. I don't even think I was 21 yet. It's like 20. A good 13, 14 years.
That's crazy, bro.
Known Vella about a good 13, 14 years. No, keep it muted. Told you.
But they're not gonna be able to hear us.
Your laptop. There's the audio is connected to your laptop.
To this? Really? Who the hell is this?
That's Karina. That's Vella's.
Check.
Yo, what it do, baby?
Can you hear us?
You hear us, Vella?
See, he can't hear us. Unmute yours.
Yo, can you hear us?
I can hear you, yeah.
All right. Slight technical difficulty here. Slight different setup this week, so we're gonna
He's gonna have to get closer to his
Yeah. Hey, get closer to the computer, Vella. Send my brother invite since this guy's not smart enough to do it.
I sent it to him.
Yeah.
Gmail.com.
Are you hearing that?
You guys are witnessing live production in action.
You guys are witnessing live production in action as it takes off.
There he is.
There we go.
What's going on, champ?
What's going on, Slip?
What's good, brother?
What's good?
Chilling. So, are you ready to begin, Mr. Kellerman?
So, first off, you said game one of the World Series was last night?
Game one of the World Series was last night, yes.
So, outside of what happened with the game, was the World Series generating more interest than the NBA Finals just did?
One of you guys want to take that one first?
I really don't think it is. I mean, I think maybe it might be a little bit more because they're in Texas, so it's more fan. They got a couple of fans in the stands and stuff. But it's not like, I mean, maybe because they do have the Dodgers and the finals had the Lakers, so LA's a big market, so it's going to generate. But Tampa Bay, it's funny because I'm just thinking about it now. I didn't realize it's LA versus Florida again. So
Yeah.
maybe that might drum up some interest.
And Tampa Bay won the Stanley Cup, so they're really the battle for title town.
Could barely hear Vella.
Yeah, move a little closer, Vella.
Kudos on the beard, bro.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That is a strong
4
beard
months
right
not
there.
getting a haircut. That's all it is.
Hey, let's call you guys back in like 5 minutes. I want to switch out your connection.
All right, so we're gonna do something here real fast, fellas. We're gonna call you guys back in 5 minutes. We're gonna do some on-air switches. Sit, hold. Hey, Vella, see if you can find some headphones with a microphone on it. All right, I'll call you fools back in a couple minutes.
So Mac Minis have onboard speakers. You heard that, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's, I don't know.
Because before we had muted him, but when I was
So you folks are witnessing us live here, make some switches. I'll keep talking here. You guys didn't get to hear the amazing echo we had in the pre-show. It sounded like an old school baseball game being called on the radio, man. It's weird, man. Yo, it's crazy. It's the middle of October and it's gonna be like 77 degrees today, man. It's awkward. no, 70 something. Like 70, it's supposed to go up to like 72, 73 degrees today, if I'm not mistaken. It's so weird, bro. Like, it's supposed to go up to 72 today, 73 tomorrow. But by Sunday, it's 55.
And my dumb ass is walking around with a hoodie and a jacket.
Nah,
Why is it I always get the weather wrong, even when they
like,
get the weather wrong too. Like, the fuck?
It's like, I don't want to say they get it wrong. It's like they don't take enough into consideration sometimes. I don't know what it is with these fools. I really don't know. But it just feels like, why are you guys doing this to us? It's and I told you, my thing is I have to always remember, man. My thing is remembering that on the days when we like I'm like on my side of the house, like on my side of the, like in the morning, that's the side with the shade, and the sun doesn't come over to its setting, so that side's always cooler no matter what until that sun's at least over the building at noon, and it starts warming up. So you would like that's why when I was in high school, even in remember when I was like a freshman and a sophomore, I would always I wore my flight jacket till June. Huh?
Let me see Vella's email one more time. But
that's why
yeah, bro, this weather be fucking people.
It's crazy, man. But it's also, I mean, now that we're technically a subtropical climate, what does that do to us seasonally? You know, I mean, I guess this is what fall is in a subtropical climate, technically. Whoa.
You guys are witnessing the live switches. This is like when a NASCAR driver pulls into the pit.
To pit, man.
Everything is everything. Now I'm on screen.
You're on screen?
I sent you the invite.
I'm back in.
So you mute yours. You mute yours. Check 1 2. Ladies,
As you folks
yes.
are witnessing live production, usually you would have gotten the old school, you know, the dog biting the wires, the tricon, the guy the guy behind the camera freaking out and says, you know, technical difficulties, please stand by. But we ain't doing that here, man. This is all straight live. This is us. This is how we do. I mean, back in the day, there would have been a major meltdown here, man. We were butting Roach
it
on
made me
live.
think of the first meltdown we had.
What the fuck's going on?
And we had absolutely no idea how to fix it.
Nah, man, it happens. It happens to the best of them.
That's why I'm grateful for not just, you know, using this space and knowing Danny, but, you know, the times that I was able to go out with First Live to do gigs and actually learn this trade. This is priceless information, bro.
I mean,
that's why there's zero freakouts now. We never, like, now it's just like whatever. Before we used to even get fucking crazy if it was like 10:01 and we wasn't live. Yo, we gotta go live.
Yeah, word. We was doing butter. Fucking 801. It's 801. We gotta go.
It's like, oh man, Jesus Christ! I need a haircut, bro.
Man,
Huh? Oh shit!
Oh, look at that.
You guys are see.
It's an amazing shot.
This is what First Live is all about.
We see the neighborhood. You got some nice yellow on those trees coming in, man. Like that nice shady yellow. Look at that. Look at that.
That's outside?
That's outside.
Oh shit!
Look at that. You guys can see the neighborhood bustling with some life right now.
We got them PTZs working.
No, not much that could stop Brooklyn, not even a pandemic, man. So shout out to everyone in Bushwick right now up and doing their things. Just want to let everyone know that we are open for coffee on these Wednesday mornings you said from 10 to 2, right, Danny?
Yeah, 10 to 2.
Open. Come in, grab a cup of coffee, get a sense of community with your only 2 live morning radio show hosts, television show hosts.
Television.
Bushwick-based, Bushwick News, and Bushwick. Got a jackhammer, you got a barista, you got live television production, you got 2 amazing, awesome personalities sitting here with each other, bouncing ideas off each other's heads.
And
you got shit happening live.
Super Lost Coffee.
Super Lost Coffee, also Bushwick-based. So
let's not forget that.
Let's not forget that. And you guys, you know, come check out this amazing space, 219 Central Avenue. And don't forget that we are still in the fall 2020 30 Days to Rock Festival here, guys. We are here and we're doing it.
We're going to keep the show going, bro.
Yes, sir.
As long as Danny's still
we got to
around,
ride this motherfucker till the wheels fall off. I don't know how many times I can say that. And I mean that, man. Even if we got to be those fools out there riding the Papa Willie with one wheel, bro, and if you fall forward because you ain't got no front tire, you're going to fall forward right on that fork, bro. So you go, your shit fucked up. So you got to keep that one wheel off. We really mean to the wheels fall off, son.
See, I sent out the invites, and now all of a sudden, they just, what are they, taking a dump?
Maybe smoking the J.
Vella's beard looked like he looked like he treats that with those oils and
Nah, that's me. I don't know if he uses beard oil, but I use beard oil to keep a nice, good, clean look
what
here.
beard oil do you use?
It's called Arlo's.
Is that the subscription pack?
Nah, I finally can find it. I find it at TJ Maxx sometimes, Marshalls.
I wanted to get one of those mustaches that I use the beeswax, and then I twirl it up like fucking.
I already see
White
you
herb.
shaved it. Why'd you shave it? You gave it up already? I
What,
thought you
this?
were doing that. You were growing it in.
Nah, cause the left side, I chew on that as a nervous tick. I'm on the computer all the time, coding shit, and then I look at the left side of my face, and half of my mustache is gone. So then I gotta go with the razor or the machine, and then try to even out the right side. But I'm working on that. It's the little ticks, bro. The little ticks that fucking, like when I was in Jersey, and I was stuck in that fucking crib in Jersey all the time. It's fucking miserable, bro. I had this thing that I was just fucking rip my beard out. I remember one time I just looked at my face and half of it was gone. And I was like, holy shit, bro. And then I broke out because I was like irritated.
I've never done that. I've never.
Like fucking. That's why your shit looks so healthy.
But I can't grow like the beard at like the angle here I want, man. So it's like I can't get what I want up here. Like this is a nice full beard.
So
but I
all of
can't
this,
grow this like I want.
as it is on your face, that's how it grows.
And I like it grows more spotty. So this is where it grows clean and smooth. So I can shave here. Up here is where it gets all spotty and spotchy and shit.
He's back.
And we have one back with us as we're waiting for our other one.
What's going on, champ?
What's going on there, Slick?
Not much.
Can we get a little more volume on the? Let me move this out of the way. All right.
And we're all back. You guys witnessed live production and look at us all back together. Hey, Lorenzo. Sir Roach is 100% convinced that you have your phone locked in portrait mode, and if you just turn it to rotate, once you rotate your phone, it should rotate so you're in full screen with us, and not the only one cropped out like that.
No, he's checking now.
Yo, how old is that picture? Oh, man, bro, how old was that photo? Oh, there you
we go.
Look at that, Slick.
That's what we've been waiting for. Around the horn.
There we go. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't let my shit. I don't let my shit go like, you know what I mean, landscape shit. But
So when you watch YouTube, you just watch it in like portrait mode. You don't turn it.
I mean, if it's something that I need to turn, then I'll turn it off. I would, but
Oh man,
220.
yeah, like
There's an automatic for a reason.
yeah, it's auto rotate for a reason, Slick. Like I've
yeah,
never.
sometimes that shit is annoying when you're just in a regular app and that shit just auto rotates.
That
I'm
doesn't
trying
do that
text
to me
message
often.
somebody.
Is that yo Vella?
Oh,
I mean,
shit.
I'm sorry. We've both been on some Samsung Android shit for quite some time. You're one of the few people I know never rocked Android. Have you ever had auto rotate problems?
I did have Android, fool.
I said
Said
not you,
never.
man. You've been on iPhone for like the last 7 years, bro. You don't count anymore. Like yeah, and yeah, you joined the cult, bro. Like you crossed over. Like you full on culted out, man.
I like my iPhone, man. Fuck y'all.
I feel most people with iPhones do, man. It's nothing against you, but I don't have auto rotate screen problems. But like we were saying with the World Series, man, what's more interesting to me, man, more than the World Series, man, is how we got to the World Series. Is that both teams were down 3-1 in it, both championship series. Both the Astros and the Dodgers fought back to force a Game 7. Only the Dodgers actually winning that Game 7 in quite dramatic fashion at that. What say you guys about that, the Game 7s?
I say it's about time Dodgers did what they got to do, and now they better finish it up in the World Series.
I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy Kershaw. He got a good we finally got a good start in there. So what I mean, it doesn't completely go away after yesterday, but the narrative can start to change because they say he's not the big game pitcher. He just pitched the game one. He just pitched to win. So I
He
ain't mad at him for that.
to see Kershaw
Um,
uh, pitch in the manner he did, I won't say dominant, but to look like the big game pitcher we've yet to see in quite some time from him yesterday.
he
I don't
did
want to
he
say it
didn't
was refreshing, but
implode.
as a fan of baseball and for a guy who is on the track to Hall of Fame with his credentials for his career, to see him do it in the postseason finally, to know that they'll stop
No,
sweating his
no.
back. He gets a
Be
ring this
be
year.
be very clear. If he retired tomorrow, he would be in the Hall of Fame.
He
for
would.
sure.
He would. He would be in the Hall of Fame, but just like Peyton Manning's going to be in the Hall of Fame, there's also going to be the knock on Peyton Manning's postseason career. I mean, there are people who are going to have those knocks on their postseason careers no matter what. Just like how many basketball Hall of Famers
But see,
and
the thing is, in baseball, it doesn't matter as much as it matters
in other
in
sports,
basketball
in
and
other sports,
football.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. In baseball, it doesn't matter as much. But I mean, Clayton Kershaw, he's been there, and when getting there, he got rocked a lot. So I think that stands out, and that's something people are going to talk. But I think last night is helping to alleviate that. I think the way the Dodgers fought back, man. I'll say this right now. I was fully rooting for the Astros. I think it's great that the Rays are back in the World Series. I've always liked the Rays since they dropped the Devil Rays name and actually became the Tampa Bay Rays. I've liked them.
Why did they drop the Devil Rays?
They just like they felt like they needed to change the I'll say the culture of the franchise. And the Devil Rays have been losing, losing, losing. They were like perennial losers. They were known for losing, so they figured change the name, you know, change the uniforms, change up a little bit, change mentalities,
Give them
and
a new
they've been
face.
pretty good since.
The
They,
cybermetrics.
yeah, yeah, started playing with advanced metrics and shit. So
So I saw when I looked up Game One World Series online that it said limited in in what is it, stadium
in
attendance.
stadium attendance, there was like what they have like 5,000 in the stands, 3,000, 5,000 in the
Yeah.
stands.
I think they were at like 25% capacity or something like
Yeah.
that.
So whatever it is, baseball stadiums are typically smaller than NFL stadiums. Like considerably, even like I'll say seat wise, like a lot of these and a lot of these teams are building these stadiums a lot smaller, with less seats so that they can sell out more.
Are they playing the entire series in one stadium?
Yeah, Globe Life. What's it? Globe Life Park is the name of that new stadium, right?
I
In
believe so.
Texas, the Texas Rangers' new stadium. The messed up part is that the Rangers' new stadium that they should have opened this year, they haven't even played in yet. It's been played in right now by the teams in the bubble. It's kind of messed up. Oh no, they did play. They did play when the
Look,
season started. I
yeah.
apologize.
What we failed to mention though is sweet sweet karma for the Astros after their cheating scandal.
I was actually rooting for the Astros, man. I wanted to see a rematch of the Astros and the Dodgers in the World Series. And now with all of that eliminated, 2020, a majority of the same players still around on both sides. I mean, now the Astros don't have Verlander or Cole though, and a lot of the Dodgers still there, and they have this taste in their mouth. I mean, I was kind of looking forward to that series, the fireworks of that series, bro. Any pitch up and in, somebody catches a fastball by the hand region, I think that would have been good for baseball for that to be a World Series, but I also think this is good for baseball. The fact that you have a team that has such a small budget. Clayton Kershaw and Mookie Betts make more together than the entire fucking Tampa Bay fucking organization's roster.
That's crazy.
I mean, I admire Tampa Bay because Tampa Bay keeps finding talent. They keep getting there. It seems like they're in the mix every year, and they haven't had a superstar on their team in a long time, or if ever. I mean,
I
unless
mean,
I don't know if you could call Evan Longoria a superstar.
I don't know if you call him a superstar. I'll agree with you. They haven't had superstars, but they had guys who are the right fits. They've had guys who
No,
they
they
knew what to
had
do with
they
them
had good players. They had people that fit what they were doing.
and knew what to do. They play away. I mean, I think when they had Joe Madden there as a manager, that was great. He's a great manager. You saw how that worked with him there. You saw what he was able to do when he went to the Cubs. Helping them there. Uh, it's certain things click for these guys, and since they made that change, having that organization like that, to see that, man, I think the Dodgers are looking like this right now, man. I think you have a guy like Corey Seager who's looking at, maybe free agency not coming back this year if he doesn't re-sign with them this offseason. You have Jock Peterson. These guys who've been with them for these playoff runs and had these like heartbreaking exits before in the NLDS, the NLCS, and when they made the World Series, what 3 straight years or something, 2 straight years? They lost to the Dodgers and then turned around and lost to the fucking Red Sox, both with sign stealing scandals. To lose like that back to back, that has to leave a taste in your mouth, man. But they've still kept fighting forward.
Is that when they were whacking the trash cans in the back?
That was that. But then the bench coach for the Astros then became the manager for the Red Sox, and
So he already knew all the insider shit.
the Red Sox won the World Series that year. Then all this stuff came out. Apparently, it stopped. They haven't been good since. They've fucking nosedived
Yeah.
offensively.
They didn't
So
take it.
I think it says I think it says more about the Red Sox than the Astros with how they've dived, man. At least the Astros have stayed relevant. They haven't hit as good, but they've still
Listen,
managed
what
to
they
hit.
I think the whole cheating scandal was wrong and whatnot, but you shouldn't be cheating. But the hardest thing in sports to do is to hit a fucking curveball. So you can know a curveball's coming, but can you fucking hit it?
Yeah, you still gotta hit it.
Still
So,
got to hit it, man.
they're cheating. They shouldn't have done that. Their cheating is wrong. It definitely gave them some sort of competitive advantage, but you still gotta hit the ball. I could tell you I'm gonna throw you a fucking fastball all day, but can you catch up to 101? Can you catch up to 98 on the inside? Like you still gotta rotate your hips and you
Yeah.
fucking drop your bat. You know what I mean? So
I mean,
I
it's the
don't I
way I
don't put
felt
too
with
much.
steroids, man. And I know a lot of people don't feel the same when I have the discussion, man. But I feel like, yes,
I've
while
always felt that way about steroids.
it's like there are certain people who use steroids who I feel don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Mainly, I may say someone like a Rafael Palmeiro. A guy who wagged his finger, guys who got caught multiple times. Um, but there's
Who
certain
was
other
who
guys.
was the first player to get? Was it Jose Canseco that got bagged with it
Nah,
first?
Jose Canseco was the one who wrote the book
Snitch.
and said how rampantly and widespread it was throughout baseball, and everyone
Yeah.
clowned him. And he himself said, "I promise you, Alex Rodriguez is on steroids," and people clowned him, made fun of him, pariah, and then not even the biogenesis scandal. We had the Mitchell report after the Balco investigation. And you had all these guys when you had Barry Bonds, Clemens, Sosa, all these guys sit in front of Congress. All of a sudden, Sammy Sosa couldn't speak English. Like it was crazy. And the most the biggest eye wave, the biggest thing that came from that was you had Rafael Palmeiro sit up there and wait like literally, I've never once in my career used steroids to not even later that season pop dirty. After getting his 3,000th hit and 500 home run. No, not 500 home run. I don't think he's a member of the 500
Listen,
home run club.
my favorite part of that whole shit was Roger Clemens talking about Andy Pettit, and when he said Andy must have misremembered.
Oh man.
That's my favorite part. He's like he just misremembered.
But like a Roger Clemens, a Barry Bonds, you guys were Hall of Famers. Like even I hate to say it, Alex
Okay,
Rodriguez though. Alex Rodriguez is probably one of the biggest cheats in baseball history. I'm sorry, and he's been taken back in with such welcome open arms.
Wasn't
man.
he also the highest MLB player at one point?
The highest paid? Yes, at one point, twice.
well, how about this? What do you think about David Ortiz? Because I had this conversation with Jack like every other Monday while we're playing poker because Jack hates the Red Sox.
Poppy,
And
listen,
David Ortiz, when they had those they had the
2003.
test and they was just testing players to see like how which percentage of the league was on the juice, and the names were not supposed to get out, but somehow they still got out, and Poppy's name was on that list.
All right, so I'll say it like this. Poppy's name was on that list. And that's like the 2003 list. And that was before they took up all the new testing, everybody with everything. Poppy didn't pop with biogenesis. Poppy didn't pop with any of the other crazy shit some of these guys got caught doing as he extended his career. I think that if you want to say he cheated, give me proof. When that was still going on 2003, all of your favorite baseball players attempted to do it too. So shut the fuck up about it. That's the way I feel. Honest to God.
That's the way
He never
that's
once
the way
during his
that's what I
career
feel too.
popped dirty. So to every fucking Yankee hater,
That's an anonymous test that they're taking to see what percentage of the league does it. My name, I'm protected, and my name should not get out.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand how it did. Like and I was like, it doesn't that doesn't count as a positive test for me. A motherfucker like Manny Ramirez who popped more than once, and I love Manny. Like
Oh, I was a huge Manny Ram. Man
I
Ram. I
think
was a huge Man Ram
he's
fan.
one of the greatest right-handed hitters of all time, son. But at the end, I think it was him trying to hang on. And you know what I mean? He popped all those steroid tests, and now his career is tainted. Like he had one of he's one of the greatest hitters ever.
He was a fan. Like fans loved him, bro. They loved his style. When you have people like his style, like just his phrase, it's just Manny being Manny. Like
Yeah,
He's
man.
the village idiot,
he was the beloved village idiot, man. And no matter where
the
he went,
lovable idiot.
I feel bad. He's one of those guys though that the way his career went, you were Hall of Famer. You popped multiple times after the fact. He popped in 2003 in the anonymous shit. Had he have went past that, still went. Maybe not have gotten the 500, floated in that 490, 480 range. Still gotten close to 3,000 hits. I think that he would have been okay, but popping twice and then in the manner in which you did after everything was going on, he did it to himself, man. I even think, I think it's a testament to A-Rod's, I kind of want to say his God-given abilities that after he had to take an entire year off of baseball, bro, the way baseball, you're done, get out of here. And he originally, it was 200 some odd games, and they decided agreed to, you can fight this and then take this whole season, and then that's your punishment. And the way he came back that first year after that and knew they were going to be testing him after that and still played that good was a testament. And he's one of those guys who didn't have to do it, but he was also one of the
First of
biggest
all,
self-absorbed
I
people in
think
all the
A
sports.
Rod. First of all, I want to just say I think A Rod is extremely corny. He's just a corny motherfucker. Like I think he's corny as fuck.
I don't know. I would
And
have
it's
been
like
pretty happy if he bought the Mets.
once you're corny, you
Wait, say
can't
that again,
uncorny
Vella?
yourself.
I would have been pretty happy if he bought the Mets, though.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know about
definitely. But
that.
he's still corny. Like I'm talking about like his public image and the way he talks, the way he
Yeah,
acts in public.
I
He's
second
just
that
a corny.
notion.
He's a corny motherfucker.
I can agree
But
with that. I can agree with that.
whoever he hired to do his image rehabilitation after all this shit did a phenomenal job. Like people actually in baseball, like he's almost the owner of the Mets. But I'm talking about like his post baseball career and
Yeah,
being
he's
able
a
to
great
be
commentator.
on those broadcasts on TBS and whatnot and doing all the
Fox,
things that
everywhere.
he's
He's
done after
everywhere.
that on ESPN. Like
National
that is a
broadcast.
huge. That was a monumental like image turnaround, and whoever is in his PR department, I hope he paid them a lot of money. I hope they
Oh,
got
he got
paid
the
well
money
for
for
it
it.
I mean,
because they did
it was
well.
him and Big Poppy on the desk after the World Series Game 1 last night.
Yeah, man. And it's
Yeah.
like even it shows you how beloved Poppy is, man.
Yeah.
And people, you can say what you want. Poppy's name never came up again in any of the other stuff after 2003. And you saw what it took for him slimming down when it looked like in the round, I'll say 2008, 2009, when he got those really slow starts and people were like, yo, is Poppy done? And when he just had that tear, he got it together and then he like was able to slim down, lost weight, had to adjust. Everybody started cheating to get it open. Everybody playing on these shifts. But he still was able to play and play to a pretty decently high level, man.
Besides that, he will always be beloved, especially
Yeah.
in Boston, just because of the this is our fucking city. Like,
That aside from this is our fucking city breaking the curse, bro. Like
Yeah.
I have to watch
that
Fever
too.
Pitch every time it comes on. I know it's considered more of a romantic comedy than a sports movie, but I love it simply to catch that last scene when the old guy's talking about, and we know how it goes. Ortiz and extras, Ortiz again the next night, chilling. But to see that and remember sitting through that, like I put it on my Instagram stories this week because that was this week. It just passed, bro, and I will remember that my whole life because I remember Game 3. I stopped watching because it was the blowout. It was like 19-8, 19-7 or some shit. And I went to the movies that afternoon. Uncle Russell was up, and we went to see Ladder 49. And he knew I love baseball. And he asked me, yo, you watch the Yankees beat them up? And he knew I was a Mets fan. I was like, no, I turned it off. I fucking hate the Yankees. And I went home that night, and that Sunday, watched that fucking game, bro. It was like, oh, my fucking Jesus. My mind was blown watching that game, bro. Like, it was just... That's one of those things that you'll always remember sitting there and seeing that run, bro. Seeing the way they came back in that shit, bro. And I mean, I was cheering for both teams that were down 3-1 to come back, and especially for everything around it in that series.
Well, on this day, I don't remember how many years ago, but the Mets did clinch the NLCS, and when they beat the Cubs too.
2015, man, 5 years.
Today?
I have on my Instagram, on my Facebook memories when I was going crazy when we was at the bars, because that night was the night we went out. That was actually crazy. You say that. That was the night I came and met you at the Mean Fiddler. We went out to the Mean Fiddler that night. Yeah,
Who went to Mean Fiddler? I don't go to Mean Fiddler.
we went to the Mean Fiddler that night. We went to the Mean Fiddler that night, bro. Like
I did?
I watched the game at home, and then I came into the city, met you, T, Turley, and some other people. Y'all at the Fiddler.
At the Mean Fiddler?
I just said at the Fiddler. I don't know. I don't think y'all watched the whole game there. Y'all watched the game somewhere else, and then y'all went to the Fiddler after the fact.
Come on, man. Jesus.
You don't want nobody to see the grays. Chill, Dylan.
Hey, fam.
Yeah, man. But that was the
Hey,
that,
what's the
that
next
was
time-
probably the
what's the
one
next
and only
time-
time I ever went to the
your
Fiddler
ass is
though.
on a Zoom call, all right? And I shout in the background, "Hey, Poop Master D."
Must slide.
Damn.
Poop Master D. That was a good one. Yeah, man. This shit
Yeah, bro.
This shit's crazy, bro. But yeah, man, I was rooting for that, right? But before we get out of here, man, how'd you guys do in your Week 6 fantasy matchups, man? And what are your takeaways from this week of the NFL that just
But
passed?
Bella's shaking his head.
Well, I got totally what's the word? I
Hoodwink.
got fucked in the end because in the league that I'm in with Vella, I was playing T, and he had that Kenyon Drake run at the end killed me.
That was that's why me and Billy are still tied. That King and Drake run at the fucking end, bro. That's what gave him the points.
And then I won in our league. I won by like 5. Like it's like my whole team shit the bed. Like I was lucky to escape out of there with a win. And I'll leave it at that. I'll try to get back at it this week. It's just like it's hard now
The
because like my
switches
team
on these fucking buys is what's killed me.
he's buys, he's switching. I should have beat fucking Dave last week, but I didn't start Diggs because they said there's a positive test on Sunday, so I'm guessing they get canceled the game. But what if you don't fucking cancel the game? I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna
I'm
do.
working
I
under
was
the
like, I gotta put
assumption that
someone
NFL's
in.
not canceling shit unless
No, but like
unless they truly
said they
have
popped
to.
on the test. Like they popped on the test on a Sunday, and his team already had multiple tests, like multiple pops. Like I was like, they're probably gonna cancel this shit. But what if they don't? There's no contingencies in place. That's the last game of the week on a fucking Tuesday. Like, what are you gonna do? Where your points are gonna
I
come
mean, there
from? So
was
it's
the
like
one where I had
either
to.
you're forced to live and die with that guy,
There was one of the games where I had to
or
do that where I started Mahomes on the Tuesday. And I was sitting there like shitting bricks, like, yo, please, please don't nobody pop. Please nobody pop. Please nobody pop.
yeah, man. That's the only reason. That's the only reason why I lost last week.
Like I
And of
just
course,
I
these fucks were happy because I was steamrolling everybody in the weeks before, and then these fucks are happy. Oh, you lost today, nigga. You know why the fuck I lost?
You got
Get the
put
fuck out of here.
in
Yo,
points,
but
bro.
wait, what's your record in
Like,
the other league
and I
then?
only lost by 2 points.
Yo, what's your record then?
It's like 3-3.
What's yours, fella?
2 and 4.
God damn. Yo, I'm not trying to gloat yet, man, because I know how fast the fantasy gods can, turn their backs on you, man. But I've never had this decent of a fantasy season. I feel
This
like I'm
shit's
doing
bullshit,
good.
bro.
I feel like I'm
That
doing
shit
good.
pissed me off.
I feel like I said, man, I think that what's pissing me off the most, and I know he listens when I put him up as the podcast, I don't think he has time to listen to it live, is that me and Billy in the same fucking division, and one of us is not going to get that fucking bye, bro. Like, one of us isn't getting that bye.
I
So,
don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about Billy. Only thing that I give a fuck about is me and my team. Okay, I don't give a fuck. I don't care about none of that shit. I don't care about you and Billy. I don't care what kind of gentleman bets you, side bets you
We
guys
have no
going. I
gentleman's
don't give a
side bet.
fuck.
I want
You
the
know what I mean?
fucking buy.
I don't know, man.
We
You
haven't
guys
made
are
a side bet
friends or
yet.
whatever. Like I don't care, man. You know what I mean? Like I don't care about none of that shit. All right. I don't know what it is. You guys maybe got a man crush on him. Maybe one day you use his prick as a whistle. I don't know. You know what I
Ah,
mean? But
those
Yo,
some
you're
heavy allegations.
Yo, this guy's a hater. Like, where's this coming from, Slick? Like, is this because I'm having like an unthought of season? I thought I'd be floating around like 500 as usual right now, trying to pray for the playoffs, and you're just killing me right now, bro. Like,
you know
I
what?
can't be
You are
happy. I'm
floating.
5-1.
Your team. You are floating around. Your team's floating like the shit in my toilet. That's the floating that you're doing.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah,
No,
yeah. You're fucking. Your team's a big
Yo,
lot
stick
this
of
guy's a
aggressive.
that's
hater, man.
floating in the
Yo,
Yo,
the
toilet.
can we
hate is
mute his
real.
mic from this side? This guy's a fucking hater, bro. Yo, you better, wait till I really figure out these controls and I figure out how to mute other people's
Minus
mics.
10. Minus 10.
Yo, I'm sit here, mute your fucking mic, bro.
Shit.
Fuck that, man.
This guy. Yo, like, yo, be a bigger hater, bro. Like, be a bigger hater. One thing I will say, I'm taking away from this season, man, is I cannot believe how bad the fucking New York Jets look, man. And
Trevor Lawrence, 2021.
I expect the Mets to break my heart, man. I expect that for some way. But for the Jets to be this
Always
bad,
expect
for the Jets to be chugging towards 0 and
But guess
16,
what? You know what's gonna make it. You know what's gonna make it worse is that they're losing right now, and they suck. And guess what? They're on track to get Trevor Lawrence. And guess what? They gotta fuck around and win a couple of games and fuck that up too.
you know
Yeah.
what though? I mean, while I'm not a big Sam Darnold fan, I don't know if you can hang this on at his feet, man. Like you haven't built him a line. I mean, you never
Never
putting
can.
any weapons
Still
around
gotta
him.
get to a first round draft, that number one draft pick,
Oh,
though. And then
Mekhi Becton, he looks good. You finally spent some money on a draft pick for the line for. I mean, you finally dropped somebody for the line for him. But this is his third year. You put these makeshift piece of shit O lines in front of him. You never had real weapons from him. His best weapons was his first year, and he didn't even have really great weapons.
You know how painful it is to watch a Jets game?
It is.
I don't. I stopped.
I
I watch
stopped.
every Jets game. Like,
Only
yeah,
time I
it's
see a
weird.
Jets game, I told you,
like
Vella.
aesthetically to my eyes, it hurts to watch that type of football.
I told you.
Like
I
Adam
only.
Gase is like the worst
Yeah.
coach
Like, I've
in
had
the
fights with my
league.
father when he comes over to my house to watch football that I watch the Jets game and not Red Zone.
I
I
don't.
I mean,
think,
yeah, of course.
I
How many
don't. I
people?
told you.
How
I
many
don't
people
watch.
got?
I stopped watching
How many
Jets and
coaches
Giants
have
games because
gotten
they suck
fired
so much. That's
already
why I
before
moved to the
Gase
red
got
zone.
fired?
Like I want to enjoy my Sunday football viewing experience. That's why I watch the red zone, bro. Like if I want, like I expect the Jets loss. I expect the Giants loss. I don't want to sit there and have to sit through commercials on top of that and shitty football play.
well, fuck
Like
the
you were there,
Giants.
you came
Yeah,
through Sunday, and I
the
showed
red
him.
zone shit
I
was hot.
explained the red zone channel to him. He's like, "Wait, so all 4 games still up?" I was like, "If they're in the red zone, they will." Like I was like, "But it just whips
They don't
around, no
even show him.
commercials."
They don't even
Explained it
show
to
him in the
him.
red zone. It's just like watching. You're flicking from game to game to game to game,
It's
and
not.
then like once they get into the red zone, they're short, but it's not
That's the
always
game
in the
that
red
takes
zone.
priority. That's the game that takes preference. But yo, fellas, I want to thank you for coming on, doing this episode of Zone Knows, sitting with us through the technical difficulties.
Yes, sir.
Lorenzo, I'm sorry your fantasy team sucks. I expected them to. You were a terrible fantasy commissioner. This is Karma from the Fantasy Gods coming back on you, Vella. I'm shocked
shit.
that your team sucks, man. I expected more from you, but this is the fantasy. I think that this has a lot to do with COVID, and I think it's
joining the fantasy
these
thing
bye
next
weeks
year.
changing things have fucked me. Like I had more than half of my team on a bye last week, and I have like half up on buys because the new bye switches because of the test these past weeks. So
Yeah, I would like to formally appeal to the commissioner that league fees be refunded for this season.
we haven't collected ours yet for our league. We need to discuss that
Ain't
soon.
collecting either. What the fuck you talking about, fella? Nobody's collecting either. Shut up.
We have to
Well, I
discuss
want my
that.
invoice stamped as paid.
Well, yeah, you will be invoiced, my friend. Yo, by the way, I started watching Lovecraft Country. That shit's pretty good.
A lot of people told me that's good. I got to get into it, man. But
You said Lovecraft Country.
Lovecraft Country. I've heard great things. My father, from the first episode, was like, "Yo, you gotta watch this. You gotta watch this." I was like, "Yo, me and P have a lot of stuff for watching, but I'll
Oh my
tell her
god,
about it."
that shit's annoying. Don't, yo, bro, you be a man and you watch a good show, okay? The fuck?
If you watch shows with someone, you wait to watch them
wait
with
for
that. Yo,
everyone?
do you watch an
You wait
episode
for
of a show you
every
watch
show?
with B without her there?
No.
Yo, son,
Yo,
this
Bella, do you
motherfucker
watch
hasn't watched
episodes
The
of
Boys
shows you
yet.
watch with Karina without her there?
He hasn't watched The Boys
Like
yet.
she falls asleep, I keep watching. That's on her.
Nah, we don't
Motherfucker,
do that to you.
sneak a
We
peek,
don't
nigga.
do
Like,
that.
okay, babe, I'll wait, and then you watch
Depends the
it, and then you
show.
watch it again. Who the fuck knows?
Damn, man.
Like, you're missing out on good stuff, bro.
This is my brother, ladies and gentlemen. This is my older brother, man. I love you
I'm
too,
sorry.
cuz.
I'm sorry, guys.
Big Zo.
I
I'm
love you
sorry.
too, Skip. Yo,
I
Vella,
couldn't
I'm going to
watch the
holler at you
show
later. I'm going to try to
because
come up
watch
there
it.
later when I'm up there.
Let me know.
I'm going to call you. Yo, Lorenzo, I'll talk to you later, you fucking hater. I love you. I love you, motherfuckers.
Later.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
making
We do
pork
fucking
shoulder
hurt.
birria
Yes, sir.
tacos.
Huh?
I'm making pork shoulder birria tacos for dinner.
Pork shoulder what tacos?
Birria tacos, ones that you dip in the jammy.
Bedia.
I'm with it. I'm with it. I'll be there.
When the fuck you making those?
Tonight.
Ooh.
Hey, look,
Yeah,
everybody's plans
you
just
got
changed.
Dylan, though.
Everybody's
I'll
plans
holler at
just
you,
changed.
Skip. I'll see y'all later, man. I love
Later,
y'all.
yo.
All right, man.
One.
There it is.
So that was just another amazing installment of Zo Knows here. You guys sat with us through a few technical difficulties. We got it up and running. And now we're back live here on Good Morning Bushwick. Guys sat with us through the figuring it out. Guys have sat with us this morning through the construction, trying to get the sound over that,
Yeah,
trying to get that
fucking
working right.
sound is-
But we're here live at First Live Studio, 219 Central Avenue,
Central Avenue, of course.
Bushwick, Brooklyn, corner
Oh,
Central
shit.
Avenue and Stanhope Street. Look at that.
at that
Look at that
shot.
amazing shot.
Oh my God.
And that is not a still frame. That is not a
This
photo.
is live right
That
now.
is an actual live shot. If you pay attention, you can see the wind moving the branches somewhat.
Look at that shit.
Look at that. Look at that. This isn't like a live Facebook
Well, there's
feed.
an earthquake.
Oh, we got something going on out there. What's happening, Bill? Is
That-
everything okay?
Minor little aftershock.
But that's what we have going on here, so you guys know here at 219 Central
house.
Avenue. And, of course, we are working
Woo!
30 Days to Rock Fall 2020.
So
It's
that's what they
already
were
in
doing. They was
motion.
presetting it so that when they click a button, it'll go straight from one setting to the next. Look at that shit.
Look at that, man. Like, we getting it all,
they're just testing
We
out the
have plans here
PTZs.
for you folks, man. But, we want, look at that.
That's a nice
Someone
shot right
has a
there.
camera now.
Let's go. This is a live shot of the studio
Yes,
setting
live
right
shot
now.
of the studio. Any of you guys who remember the
Little,
old sets, you
casually
remember that
walking
amazing
by.
area. You know who
Hey.
this gentleman is strutting by.
Walking like Ric
Yo,
Flair.
Now you know what he looks like? He looks like the meme when it shows who's the mouse from Tom and Jerry. When he's walking with his
Isn't it
chest
Jerry?
out like mad smooth, like what you gonna do to me? Like what you gonna do, Danny? Like this is my shit. I rock this shit.
Look
I
at
run
that.
this shit.
Barista. Get some
Yes,
coffee
sir.
going. Absolutely.
We got
You guys
Danny
see it.
out here, man. We got the gang back together, man. And hopefully next week we won't have to contend with the jackhammers.
Now we've been kind of dodging this, but we gotta talk about this Biden tax plan, bro.
Because I don't know much about it.
Let's just talk about
What it looks like on the meme we see everyone be show is like if you make over 400,000, they're looking to tax you 62%. It says some wild shit like that. I don't know if that's a tax plan that any sane person would ever pass.
So supposedly, from what everybody's been sharing, there's something going on with Texas. Like Texas has the least amount of taxes. Like Danny, do you know what the tax thing is? Is he back?
They don't have a state tax, I believe.
Did he go to the back studio?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
believe
he did
so.
Go to the back studio.
I don't believe that Texas has a state tax, a state income tax.
Because
you only pay
supposedly
federal
that's like the
taxes.
hot place where everybody's supposed to be moving now to avoid.
A lot of people want to move places that you don't have to pay state tax. Florida, places that don't pay state tax. That's why sometimes you hear like when these NBA players negotiate contracts, why when they go places like Texas or Florida, you hear about them that and they're making actual more than they are because they don't have to pay certain taxes, other that they will have to pay other places. So while I'm not
400
100% sure,
400,000 a year.
I would want to believe.
Let me do some math real quick. So
I would wanna
400,000 a
believe-
year will mean that you're making about $7,600 a week. So that's already catering to a financial level that the majority of the people in the hood, they don't make $8,000 a week. So
You have to make $8,000 a week to make $400,000 a year.
Yeah.
Shit.
7,600. So you figure that. One thing that B was saying, and I don't know if she's correct. We was just having a conversation, but it was an interesting point in that when you raise the taxes for rich people have the option to leave. They move. They have the money. They have the revenue to. So once you get all the wealthy people to pack up and get the fuck out of the state, go to places where they don't have to pay high state tax or whatever it is, then who's left to deal with all of that? Is it not the poor people? Are they gonna fucking? What are we doing? We taking callers?
Next week.
Taking live calls.
Next week. 929, baby.
Ooh
Holy
wee.
shit!
Next week we'll take calls.
He got an AT&T phone. This is like a fucking.
Like this, all right, we're gonna put you on speakerphone. I like that.
Yeah.
We're gonna put it on speaker.
Man, you're gonna have some
Does it?
fun. But no, I just looked it up. There's 9 states where you don't have to pay a state income tax. It's Alaska, Florida, Nevada, New Hampshire, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Washington, and Wyoming. I guess that'd be Washington State.
So they only pay federal tax.
Federal tax, I believe.
And how much? See, now I'm gonna have to go into my old not invoices. The fuck is that shit called? Pay stubs.
Yeah.
Just to see how much state tax they was taking out. Jesus Christ.
I
man.
mean, they don't. I mean, I told you, bro. Like, because of how I work, I end up always having to pay the state. I mean, I always have to pay back taxes no matter what, because of how I work. So paying taxes is nothing new to me. It always hurts at the end of the year. It always hurts, having to see that money leave.
So if you
having
got
to send them this money.
$100, what of that $100 would be state and what would be federal? That you would put to
I
the side?
usually put aside 20 from everything. I would put just to have it there. So I consider it like most people consider like 200 every check. Other people, I just consider 200. I consider 20 from every 100 to have enough there on the side. And even when I did that last year, I still had at least a little bit left over, not to have to, go all right now. I have to go back to saving money again. So
I think that's the hardest thing for people to do, myself included. It's
save money.
Yeah, to be able to get this, put this to the side, especially for tax purposes, because when the tax
For
time
tax
comes
purposes, even I'll tell you, it's not hard for me to save money. I don't look at it as saving money as much as it is for me. Just not spending money is the easiest way I save money is to not spend the money. Like on days where I know there's food to eat at home, I won't eat out. I won't order out. If I could get somewhere by the train instead of taking an Uber, I take the train, take the bus. I do the same things I would do, even though, even when I was working, I would do these things. That's how I saved money. That's how I tell my sister. That's how I save money. Like, I don't spend money needlessly if I don't have to. Like, I don't buy sneakers. Even when I do buy sneakers, I go to TJ Maxx. I go to Marshalls. Everything's on sale. Everything's like clearance. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
There should be something they teach in school. Financial
It's simple
literacy.
things like that. Like that people don't pay attention to. It's like even like I'm not a coffee drinker, so I don't buy a cup of coffee every day. I'm not a person who buys multiple bottles of fucking alkaline water for $3-4 a pop a day, and then doesn't finish them. People don't
Yeah, you
realize
walk
the
around with a
little things they
canteen.
do. I don't order out lunch every day. People don't realize the small things that they do every day that cost them money, and then you add those things up at the end of the month. How much money did you spend? Now, I can't sit here and talk. I know what I spend money on the most.
We all
You
do.
know what I spend money on the most. I am open about the only things really this day and age I spend cash on are ordering takeout and seeing, the Bud Man. That's it. That's the only real things I spend cash on.
Reeferinos.
Little reeferinos, little reeferonis. And those are the only real things that I really spend cash on anymore these days. And I'm open about that. And even then, like I tell you, bro, and even I've told you, like I've gone out of a sense of like I need to just in the event of like, things not looking great in this city or in this state, moving towards possibly another shutdown. So I definitely don't want to have that happen to be dry. And also, like I've told you, like when I'm home, I'm working on shit. And I'm not someone who's sitting there ripping all day to be retarded. Like once I hit it, I'm good to go. like, and I'm working. You see me when I'm sitting there. You saw how I had to set up while I was working the other day when you came in the crib.
And I'm very proud of you, bro.
Yeah, man. Thank you. I
Like,
appreciate
you
that.
took the bull by the horns, bro.
I appreciate you showing me how to do that so we could. Because I told you, like, seeing it, like, I'm like, yo, bro, like, we're upset about this, but, like, we're, like, stagnating in ourselves. So since you can't do it, show me how to do it so I can do it so that it can get done. And it's gotten done. We backtracked, and I told you, you were like, start from me. I was like, nah, in my mind, I want to work my way backwards so that I know what I've gotten
Yeah.
up and then go from where I took over from.
And
which
it's easy, but it's tedious.
It's tedious.
It's
Like yesterday, I
time-consuming.
got up all those episodes up yesterday while doing it. And I woke up. I started around, I'll say maybe 10:30ish, 10:40, and I worked through to about 2:30, getting everything up, getting everything tagged. You know, everything, making sure everything was good. You know, one of the bigger things for me is like not messing up the times they go up so that they're in the right chronological order, and that'll sometimes mess me up because I actually started at 10 a.m., 11 a.m. and like go like that when I should really start it a little earlier, so I can keep tracking what time did I do the last one after jump, and then, so once I get like a hold of that better in mind and start fucking myself there mentally on that, I won't have the problems I've been, but like just doing that.
But it's also a testament on how to take anything, really, and even at the very most minimal way, like, monetize it. Like, we do a TV show, but then after the TV show is done, the process is you rip the video off the internet, start chopping it up, make everything into sound bites. We dump it onto Anchor and get it syndicated to all the platforms. So whether you have a television show or a little radio show, or whether you're recording your voice on your phone, you can easily syndicate shit for free and then generate revenue based on the advertising that you set up. Like with Anchor, the first option was Anchor FM as a sponsor. So we cut a little promo, and you got to do it the right way. So one of the things that we had to learn was don't put the ad in the beginning, because you got to just jump straight into it, get people hooked, then the ad plays, and then they have to finish it out.
Yeah.
If every episode that you do, as soon as you click play, you hear the same exact ad, everybody's going to just turn away from that shit.
Yeah.
So it's been a learning process, but I think now we got a solid flow.
But even how you told me how we did in the beginning when we went to Anchor, how we would have to cut the episode in the middle while we were recording, save it, and then restart a new segment, and then you realize, you could upload it, cut it there, split it, and put the ad in. And doing that, even because you can hear the differences in them. These ones, I told you, like, I try to find like a wavelength where like, all right, there's a lull there, let's bang, hit that cut and move it forward. With you said I just click in the middle wherever it is and then put that shit. It's done. Like,
Be right in the middle of a word. So then I said, but that's what, if you're like watching anything on YouTube, they don't know when the shit is gonna fucking.
That's when
they just drop the commercial.
They
and
drop
then you
it
just
wherever
like,
it is.
Fuck, I missed it. Now you wait the commercial and you keep
run it
listening.
back. Yeah.
But even just from when we started doing Anchor, when was that? Last year?
Last year when we put it on there after we started. We were looking for, because we originally put them on. We were doing the gram, then we're gonna do the YouTube, and then we're like, nah, let's just go back to audio podcasting. And even when we were doing YouTube, we weren't putting out videos, but they were audio videos with only audio on it, like with the little looped animatronic.
Can you pull up, when was the first episode that we dropped on Anchor? That had to be last September. I didn't even realize that it was,
I'm actually I'm gonna guess last August if I'm not mistaken. I have it open right here.
we had a fucking 1 year Anchor anniversary and we didn't even acknowledge that
First
shit.
episode we dropped on Anchor last year was September 5th.
September 5th. Holy
sir.
shit. Damn, we missed our anniversary, bro.
We did. We certainly did, man.
Jesus Christ.
But we've been, there's so much going on at that time.
But this is what's funny about it, is that when we first started doing it, we was just recording the little podcasts, putting them out. Then we had a flow. We was doing this shit, dropping one a day? That's what we was doing. And then it got to a point that, shit started happening. We couldn't link up, whatever. We had all of that radio footage from 2012, 2013, and 2014, bro. And the process of cutting those things up was a little different because those were just long broadcasts.
Those were long broadcasts, so it's like
It's
you have
like,
to listen.
holy
It's like
shit.
even with this, like when
3
cutting these
fucking
up,
hours, bro.
to sit there and like bang these, like, all right, this is what we talked about here, like, and knowing where to try to cut, and like, all right, this could be one segment, this something else, and then I told you going back to from where we started it into now, when we originally did this, we had a whole different setup vibing, when we were talking here in the 2 hours before we went to like a segmented, sort of style like we have now, and trying to cut those up, and it's like, well, especially like when we had the guests on, it's like, yeah, we did talk about this, but then even seeing how short like some of these like our conversations are before, it's like, all right, we're on this topic, like we're 4 minutes here, 5 minutes there, but these are so oddly contrasting, they can't be together. So this is gonna be a 4 minute podcast. Like you're gonna hit that quick, and then,
Quick bite.
but before you realize it, you jumped on to the next one, and it's seamless like that because of where the ads are set up now.
And then there was a lot of the classic interviews that we ended up putting.
That you ended up putting up.
Like
David.
Robert, you asked me, what was it, a couple weeks ago if I read, 48 Laws of Power. I told you I just read the laws. I didn't read the whole book. But we had Robert Greene on the show.
We had a
bro.
Robert Greene on. That's why I don't know if I would have read that book or 33 Strategies of War without us interviewing him, bro. And I just re-downloaded them onto my phone so that I can read them again, man. I haven't read them in a few years. I feel like those are two books that anyone trying to do anything, and this is to know how to do it. Not try 48 Laws of Power, now I'm be a super powerful person in the world. No. Like, it shows you a lot of the time how those laws weren't applied properly and they backfired. And even 33 Strategies of War, how it's not necessarily war like bang, 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 shoot them up, go blow these fuckers up. But it's like view any conflict not as war, but like it's a conflict. And conflicts need resolutions, and there's certain ways of going into conflict. And there are a lot of smaller conflicts people don't realize they end up in daily and shit.
And he said that he followed 50 for 2 years to write
For the
50th.
like, I
law.
want to, and that's the one I probably should read is the 50th Law. Seeing as I've read 48 Laws of Power, I should read the 50th Law.
And just seeing, I mean, it's one thing, you see people on TV all the time and shit like that, but the one time that I saw 50 Cent in person, you could just tell the confidence oozing from this dude, bro. The way he was just walking through Sirius XM, crowds of people was just begging to take a picture of him. And he was like chill about it. He wasn't being arrogant. He posed with people, like, and then you have, not to name names, but you got somebody like Chanel West Coast, who like
Let's not talk about
D-list,
that.
but then she'll start belittling people in the street. Don't know how to act. You had your little run-in, didn't you?
She didn't believe it. That's why I told you. I felt lucky because after I made her wait in line, 2 weeks later, that video came out. 3 weeks later, her shitting on son in L.A. on the West Coast. I don't know if it's the fact that I was out here, like, I'm not wearing black jeans. I'm wearing, like, I'm outside. I'm in a suit, shirt tied, like, gray suit, white shirt, black tie. Like, and I'm, like, I'm trying to be cool. I'm smooth. I don't know how long she'd been standing there and how long she'd seen me out there interacting with everyone and, like, dealing with the cops, dealing with the crowd, people. But I don't know this person. They told me I'm on it. Like, there's no guest list like that. There's no one getting in. Like we're here. Like, it's capacity. No one else going in. Like, it's that. And, like, the way I had to reiterate that to a bunch of people, like, I don't know if she saw that and just felt my demeanor maybe don't let me fuck with this dude or maybe be nicer. And, and honest to God, like, I guess she realized that I was shutting down people, like, bigger than her. Like, that was there. Like, or that she maybe knew I'd be shutting them down too, then I'm definitely
That's
not
a
getting
privileged mentality.
And it was
bro.
just, and it's like, and at that point, people don't understand, like, if we're at capacity where they weren't expecting this many people. We don't have security. Shit, something happened. Yo, bro, like the shit that falls downhill from that, getting sued, fines and all that shit, that all falls on the establishment. And then the security shit falls on us, like, in our boss. So that affects our wages, everything. Like, his insurance prices, that all comes down. And people don't understand. They don't think that matters,
They
bro.
don't care.
And, like, the cop asked me, like, she spoke to the cop. And it was a young cop. I could tell you it was a young cop. He was trying to hope to get a picture, get some play. And he came over and asked me. I was like, yo, it was your bosses and the fire marshal that told me no one else goes in. I was like, if you want to let her in, let her in. I was like, I'm not saying yes. You are. And he was like, all right, no, don't talk to them real fast. He went in for 2 minutes and he took her upstairs.
Even situations outside of, like, getting in somewhere. When that dude first approached 50 when he was walking with that girl in the parking lot trying to go eat. And he was like, yo, check out my IG. Like, 50, like, Now he turned them away, but then he told them why. He's
Yeah.
like, bro, that doesn't work. Like what you're doing is stupid right now. And then the dude he goes and he comes back, and then at that point you crossing the line, bro. Now you
Like
get
it's almost
chairs
like you
thrown at
stalking
and
me,
shit.
bro.
But
Like that shit that happened when
initially,
50 was throwing the tables. Like it was with the same dude, bro. Like
and it reminds me of when because we had met Jack Thriller at the Bronx, right? It was at Extremities.
was it there? I
Yeah,
feel like it was there.
Nightline.
I think it was Nightline.
We was at Nightline. We saw Jack Thriller come in. We might have taken a picture, maybe.
I think you have a
I
picture
think that
with
was the
him.
day that we all took the picture together.
Was it that time?
Because as we were leaving, he was coming in.
He was coming in.
I
We
think
had
it was
already
that
interviewed,
time.
but we had already interviewed him by then.
No,
No, we hadn't.
we got the interview because we met him that night.
Oh, I thought we had already interviewed him by then.
And then once we had him on the show, that's when I went and met with him in the city. And I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but he was nice enough to sit me down and put me onto game. Like, yo, you can't just show up with a CD. You look like that dude, like 50. Like, watch my IG. So just having that situation be handled the way that it was, because he could have just been like, yo, fuck off, Roach. And then years later after that, I remember I was at Perfect Storm. I go down the stairs to pick him up because he was meeting with Storm. And he noticed me. He was like, Roach? I was like, yo, it's good. He was like, damn, you move fast. And it was like a proud moment for him because he saw me do something stupid. And now he sees me with a corner office and all this shit. When he walked in, he saw the Bud and Roach banner on top of the shit. So he could see that shit was moving. And it all comes down to giving as much as you take.
And a lot, I mean, it comes, you know what it is? A lot of people
Give and
don't
take.
understand, bro. And we discussed this a few times. I know people might feel like, maybe talking about them. I'm talking about people in general. A lot of people aren't prepared to put in the work it's required to get something done. A lot of people think, yo, let me just show up.
It's jumping. People are listening to us,
Um,
the podcast at least,
yeah.
live right now.
and people people aren't prepared to put in the work required to get something done. People think, yo, I just show up. Yo, but I showed up. I was there. Did you do the work? Like, it's why I'm the most honest about me, like my real estate career not working out is because I half-assed it. There were days, there were days I gave 100%. There were days I gave 95, 90% a lot. But there were also days where I gave 50, 40%. I gave 20, like, oh, I put up 3 ads, they flagged already. Fuck this, I'm going home to get high and play video games. I'm my own
You
boss.
saw me
I'll
on
put up
10%.
more. I'll put up more. I'll put up more tomorrow.
I hated that though. I hated that we had to be there.
But even it's not even the being there, like what goes into it. Because honest to God, like there's the belief in it. Like I say this all the time. Anyone listen to me who have done real estate, anyone who I've worked with, you can feel insulted, feel how you want to feel about it. I feel no ill will towards anyone I worked real estate with, even if you're not from here. Even if like some of the shit I feel you did to me when I did work in Bushwick, growing up in Bushwick as someone from Bushwick, like the way shit went and the way people viewed Bushwick or people who lived in Bushwick, I won't get into all of that, but no one really tells people the honest truth about that is that if you're working 100% off commission, if you don't have a revenue stream, how hard it's going to be. It's not like, yo, like when they like, yo, dude, like let's naked apartments for one. Like, yo, to have that recurring 39 or 49 hitting you, and even to get the apartments up, or even like open listings, trying to get into these luxury shits to get better pictures. So people, I see these same pictures everywhere. They don't know we're all advertising your same stock photos. How about, you know how hard it was for me to have to lie when I was working when we were at City Solutions to get into some of these fucking luxury buildings to get cleaner pictures?
Oh yeah.
I just have to lie oh no, they just want to see the pictures of the unit. Da, da, da. I would have to lie my ass off to get into those units and get cleaner pictures, bro.
It was just a weird time, and that was a weird business to be
It was
in.
a weird time. And it's like, and like I said it before, it's like everyone. I feel like at that point in their lives, we were in our mid to late 20s. We started it. I was at work 26, 27. You just been married, so you're like a year
Yeah.
older than me. So we're in our mid to late 20s, honestly. We're trying to figure out life. We're looking at our other friends who just graduated college. They're working careers and shit. We've only really had work experience, but people don't take our work experience seriously because we didn't work the same places or we only have high school degrees, high school diplomas. So I'll say that there was that. There was the allure of but I closed one deal, that's like $1,000. I closed two deal, that's another. There was the allure of just close the deal, and that even that
But
we
closing the
knew
deal.
with how we use money, just close one and we good for that stretch, and that'll help us move forward. It's like once I close one, like I close another one, I close another one. Like it was one
I
a
didn't
month.
even get to close any.
It was one a month, bro. I never got on like a tear where it was multiple a month, bro. And it was. I felt I helped myself back, but even when I felt like I was putting myself in positions trying to get them to help me do shit, like I said it, I told you, bro, I felt it like there was sometimes a pushback and seeing shit. And people just need to be honest with people about real. People ask me about real estate. If you dedicate yourself, you could be good. Like I don't have that. And
You
then
have to be obsessed with it.
you have to want to lie.
It's
I don't want to say you want to lie to people, but
1099. You're an independent contractor.
but the way
You gotta
rentals are
fucking-
handled, especially around this area, the way rentals handled, the way rentals are worked, it's a very, 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 very dirty game. When you read them on when you read some of these reviews or anything of these people who dealt with like some of these real estate agencies, when you read the reviews on Google, some of the shit they say, some shit about the landlords after moving in, before moving in, well, they'll keep that whole deposit, not get back to them, say they fucked up or did something wrong, and now they're out of this money, but they also lost their last apartment. Like, people don't have these, like, monetary options people think, or even like I told you, we discussed it before, the shit with credit and guarantors. Like I want to know, first off, how many people do you think in this city make over 120,000? And then if a person with this financial
Not in this
history,
area.
out of college, like clearly telling you, like, oh, I'm out of college, I work a couple jobs. How the fuck do you think I know a person who can co-sign and is going to be comfortable with me co-signing a lease for me?
And there was this thing that once you have an exclusive, you got to bust your ass on that exclusive. But the majority of people don't get exclusives. So now you just got open listings. You got to deal with clients that they're going to switch their schedule last minute. They're not going to show up.
They're not going to show. They're
just
not going
fucking be there.
They're going to already,
Or
they're going to
they
deal
don't
with
wanna
other
submit an
agents.
application
They're
or-
going to, drag their feet,
Like, there's so many fucking moving parts when it comes to that shit. That it was just like,
and it's honest to God, people who don't think that it really has to work good for you. Like it's a really, sometimes luck. I tell people it's luck.
and
I
then
don't-
shows like $1 Million Listing. You know what, $1 Million Listing for my real estate career was the equivalent of like these aspiring wrestlers going to Tough Enough. It's like back in the day, people had to pay dues. You had to go into the independent circuits, learn the craft, work your way up, get noticed and shit like that. And by watching this show, this $1 Million Listing shit, all they did was highlight the beauty of working for yourself, of closing the big deal, and putting together showings and sipping champagne on a rooftop and shit like that.
We heard it, but
Then when you actually go out there, you freezing cold. You got a fucking coffee mug that's getting wet from the rain, and everybody's canceling on you. And
and there's very few people like there's people who like, oh, my first deal, my first month, my close that like that. You have to realize the anomaly that is, and you have to tell that to people. Like, yo, that's a outlier. Even if you were, I've seen people plug away, and I mean people in worse financial situations. I mean, I lived at home when I was struggling like that with no money in my pocket. At least I knew I had a roof over my head. I had a bed. I had hot water. My mom wasn't gonna fucking let me starve. You know what I'm saying? At least I knew I had these things. There were people there who did not have it. Like, I remember one time there was a girl crying. Like, she had no money. She was trying to get to an appointment. And I was like, yo, do you want my Metro card? Like, it's unlimited. Like, you can go, come back. I'll wait. Like, you can take this. Like, and I felt bad. Like, she was really worried about rent and everything. And she was ready. It's like, yo, there's people that are in different situations, bro. And, like, I actually, I sometimes
I
feel
was one of them.
I feel
was
bad for
stressed,
these people,
bro.
man. Like, and
I was
a lot of
stressed.
people like get into it, man. And there's a lot of younger people, a lot of people like not from here, so they have to. It needs to work for them, man. And I've seen people struggle, and
It's a great business for bubbly personalities.
you
If-
have
if
to.
You got a pretty face, a
if
bubbly
you're
personality.
like, for me, once you realize, like, this is my face. Rarely will you see me with a charming, big, bright smile. Like, you'll normally, if you see me, my hat's low. Like you'll look like if I have my headphones on. Like, I'm not an inviting looking person. But once I take them off, we talk, you'll realize, all right, he's about more than that. He's not angry, sullen looking. He is angry and sullen, but not as angry and sullen as he appears. You know, sitting there just typing away on the computer with big ass headphones on, ignoring everyone. For me, the people who I work with that I close realize that he's honest. They've worked with some dishonest people. They've had some fucking shit experiences. I can understand that. I'm straightforward with them. Once you realize I'm not gonna bullshit you, I'm gonna tell you the God's honest truth and do the best I can for you. There are people that wanted that, and there were other people who just didn't. And then like there were people who like I know people who just could like string it along. Could like people who could sell you a dream, man. Like
And they said at the, I was at fucking 4 different agencies. They always said, if you want to get started, the best thing to do is to, you know, anybody in your family or your friends, you know, have them use you to find their apartment and shit like that. Listen, family and friends are the last people.
the last people I want to work with. I'm sorry, family and friends and friends. Like, yo, and it's like, yo, I'm sorry. They think that, yo, you get discounts on them. No, I don't fucking get discounts, man. You think if I got discounts, I still be living at home? No, man. Shit don't work like that, man. And telling people shit don't work like that. They don't fucking listen. They don't motherfucking listen, man.
They don't want to listen.
It's like
bro.
when people try to tell you, oh, yeah, you know, I'm looking for, you know, a $1,500 4-bedroom, 2-bath, you know, duplex, you know, prime Bushwick, you know, hopefully right near the L train. Like, the fuck you think this is, bro? 1980? The fuck is wrong with you? Like, this shit people,
He's
oh,
gonna get a
no, man, my
closet.
buddy, he lives in a dope ass, but they only pay $2,000 a month for a 3-bedroom. You know, rooms are huge. Lucky them, pal.
I was talking to B about how much Fucko used to pay for rent, and they was still backed up 3 months. Shit was like $75, bro.
My dad, you know,
$75 a month.
my dad used to be a property manager.
Fuck out.
And he told like some of these people that had rent control apartments where he worked when he worked in the 90s,
Yeah.
their rent was like $25. And they would be
fucking
backed
crazy,
up like
bro.
$200 on rent. And he's like, yo, but these are people buying sneakers or it's partying and shit. Yo, you're in a rent controlled apartment. He's like, and he also told a lot of these people in the 90s as gentrification was becoming a real thing in New York City before it became as big and bad and crazy as it is now, that you better not give up your apartments when these people come through and offer you what sounds like a lot of cash. Because after you move out of your $25 apartment that they're going to renovate, which doesn't need much renovation, they're just going to fucking put up new walls, probably new appliances, and make sure it's up to code.
That $25 just turned to $2,500.
$2,500 within a couple years. But that was then. I'm guessing back then they probably started around $1,200, $1,300 and worked its way up to where it is now, which
Now
is
it's
twenty-five,
fucking
26,
stupid.
2,700 in some of these places. But my dad said he told these people, and he like people taking 50, 60,000 cash, but you're spending money. Everybody getting Nikes. You're always eating out. Let's go to Red Lobster. Let's go here. Let's do this. And before you realize it, you ain't paying rent yet for the year. Like you just 2 years of rent. That is where you move next. 3 years if you're smart with it. And people don't think about that shit, man.
Supposedly, there was this time years ago that a bunch of property in Harlem, I guess it burned down or some shit happened. They closed everything down. And then they was auctioning off everything. And Dougie Fresh went and he started buying buildings for $1. And then he renovated everything. And now he owns mad buildings out
honest to
there.
God, if I knew that, and there's places I tell you upstate, man, where I see some of these other towns, as people are moving up there, especially now with this going on, I wish I would have known. I still want to get into the housing market because there's places up there where people moving out of the city but want to still be within close enough
Yeah.
distance to it along the Hudson, some of these places, that, you know, you can see these places. If you go in there, you'll probably get them cheap. It could probably cost you money to renovate them, but if you can get a cheap multi-unit building, renovate it, and then rent that shit out, that's your first way to building, you know, residual income.
Imagine how he felt buying up all those buildings for $1 each, but they were all fucked up. And then just the money that he invested in it now, I'm pretty sure he's getting that shit back
People
quarterly.
You like it is what I tell people. It's like it's even why some of them could afford to sit on these apartments. Like I told you, I don't know how good your financials are, but if you can sit at that price point and not want to budge for that long and it's been vacant for months, then either you don't care about your credit situation, or you just don't care if you're bleeding money, or it's not hurting you to be sitting there like that. It's
So-
one or the other.
In places that don't have state taxes, all those states that you listed, is state tax under property tax?
I believe property tax and state tax are different.
So if you own a house in Texas or in Florida, you still got to pay the state its dues.
I believe property taxes, like, but then that's all. Like, property taxes aren't federal, so that's handled by state. I think wherever you live, you have to pay property tax in the U.S.
So you never really own land.
I mean, you own it, but you pay the government to own it, kind of.
But what happens if you stop paying the taxes on the land?
Huh?
What happens if you stop paying taxes on your land?
That's how usually they try to come take it back.
So yeah, you never really own it. It's not like a private island somewhere or some shit that you're the fucking governor and the president. The minute you stop paying up, they'll come seize your shit. Is that how houses get foreclosed?
Houses get foreclosed on because of bank loans is foreclosures. That's like
So
bank
you don't
loans.
pay the bank back.
You haven't
So essentially,
paid
the bank owns the house.
The bank owns the house. You get the loan from the bank, and you pay off the loan. So essentially, the bank owns your home until you pay off that loan. Essentially, sort of, kind of.
Which they fucking interest through the roof.
Interest loans, crazy interest rates, like, and it's like people knowing what you're paying. Like, if you, like, let's say, yo, like, I were to buy a house, like, let's say none of 2020 happens, no pandemic, none anything. Everything's working good for me at work, but in Roach still moving forward. You know, we could start executing our plans we have for 2020, and everything's looking good. You know, financially, I want to I want to move out. You know, it doesn't make sense to rent, so let's look to buy. If we had, you know, let's say brought something, and I brought anything anywhere, you know, and we were paying that, and now everything that happens can't pay, then it starts building up. But also, people don't look when they get these loans. If there's gonna be a penalty, like let's say we hit, I'm able to pay, keep paying, moving it up, paying on the time, everything never miss. But let's say something pops, or there's a windfall of cash. With that windfall of cash, I can pay off the rest of this loan. Some banks will penalize you for that.
Because they want the interest on it.
They want the interest building up. They want that. So if you have to see some people, there's people that have that. Like if you pay, or even if like you, not even if you pay off more or in a chunk, if you pay off more than you're supposed to monthly, like they'll penalize that because you're paying it off at a quicker rate. So like some people like say check to make sure it's that. Like if you do get a chance to pay it off, if they're gonna penalize you for like is it like walking out of a loan or some shit? So.
And I've heard people say, oh, I'm taking out a second mortgage on my house. What the fuck is that?
That I don't quite understand mortgages. Like a second mortgage, I feel like is
another loan.
I feel like another loan, and like your house is collateral, and now already like whatever you had was collateral before, but now you've put your house up. If I'm not mistaken, when it was explained.
Because I hear that a lot on Kitchen Nightmares. Chef Ramsay's always going to these struggling restaurants, and they'll be like, you know, to save the restaurant, we had to take out a second mortgage.
They
on the
usually
house.
come. I remember when I was in the Fresh Air Fund, they had someone before even we got into it. Someone come appraise their house, and it tells you what your house is worth. And by the appraisal, that's usually when you get an appraiser. It's usually what you put it up on the market as. So the appraiser, and it'll usually be the bank's appraisal or whoever the loaning agency's appraisal come. And this is probably what we view you as. This is we'll give you a loan on your the second mortgage loan. Your house is the collateral at this rate versus this much if you want to take those terms. But then like you're really like you need to pay. Even you still have your first mortgage that you're using everything else for, but now this is here, and if this fucks up, you lose your house, everything.
So let's say you're paying the bank back, right? You have one mortgage, you're paying the bank back. You got halfway done. You need money. Can you take back that half and then start the process of paying it out again?
I don't know about that. That I don't know about 100%. I don't think a bank would allow that.
See,
they might loan you. You could probably that same lending institution if you don't want to take out a second mortgage, since you already have a history of paying them, and they can say, all right, you clearly pay on time. If you didn't need it too badly, if it wasn't too crazy, they might say, yeah, we'll give you a loan. They might try to fuck you on interest rates because you do have an outstanding loan. And it's like, but it's with you guys. I've always paid on, but you have an outstanding loan. So they'll try to fuck you on rates. Or if you get like a secure credit card and like or secure sign, there's different ways around it, apparently financially and shit. But a lot of the time when it comes to these big banks, they're looking at you as we gonna eat.
When we did the show out of Wall Street, I used to always go downstairs, smoke cigarettes, and I met a lot of people in the building. And upstairs, they had a debt consolidation office. And one of the guys used to come downstairs, smoke cigarettes, and he used to discuss how people would call him, and they would have, whether it's their mortgage, their car payments, credit cards, like people $100,000 in debt. And this company apparently pays all that shit off, and then they have to pay them back. That's not bank related. Those are private institutions.
Yes, those are usually private institutions. Some of them usually when they can buy your debt. Usually if someone like it's wild like how they sell debt.
That's like a fucking collection agency, essentially.
Kind of they can, but collection agencies are they brought your debt from someone else and now they're looking to collect from you. They brought whatever and it's like yo you owe them now you owe us.
Yeah, but even with those companies, you can negotiate that shit down because they already and they didn't buy the debt for what it was. They bought that shit for cents out of
dollar. They
dollar.
gotta make a crazy profit on that shit. That's why they're looking for you for that, and they're hoping you call and like, hey, can we negotiate on there? And it's like your 10,000 debt is now like, all right,
Let's
talk.
let's
Let's talk 8. Okay, let's talk 7. Let's put you on an installment.
It's like
plan
going
for
across
7.
the border.
You
from
had
Mexico.
pretty decent credit, you know. But that's how it works. But it's also like those payday loan agencies, man. Like that shit was.
Do
dirty.
you need cash now?
Like I remember, I'm not gonna lie to you,
Was that
bro.
commercial? It's my money and I want it now.
There were times when like doing real estate, bro. Like I had no money. I'm looking at it like, man, like this don't seem like a bad deal. But I'm like, hell no, man. Like this niggas, like this how fast y'all moving, how bright this is. This shit probably is worse than going to a loan shark. Like if I wanted like to, end up in these dire straits, at least somebody could toss me off the bridge instead of you motherfuckers harassing me and ruining my credit.
You know, as low as I've been financially throughout my life, I was never reached a point where I'm selling a PSP for $2. But that's just me, bro.
That's just you, and that a person with good common sense, not an idiot.
That's when PSP was hot. Remember that shit?
I remember that shit, bro. That shit was one of the more disappointing moments of that time. Just in that.
It's like
I
what
could
the
never
fuck?
understand bro. Just the things that shit people do, bro. I'll never forget that shit. That's
They really need to teach financial literacy at a young age to kids.
much younger than they do now.
Do they teach it at all in high school? 'Cause
I remember
I
I
don't
learned
remember
a little
taking
bit.
any
It was like
classes.
my freshman year, and it was I did instead of starting with history, I didn't start global history until sophomore year. I took economics and civics my freshman year for history, while everybody else would usually take that senior year. I took it freshman year.
You know, there was a this thing circulating. I guess it's one of the textbooks they use in school now, and they put a blurb about Native Americans. It's probably like this big, talking about when the settlers came, the Native Americans and the Pilgrims had a discussion, and the Pilgrims took over the land.
They don't teach any. They
It's
don't
like,
teach
what?
any. They don't teach any of it. They don't teach the Trail of Tears. They don't teach.
They don't
like,
teach
the Missouri
shit anymore,
Purchase. They
bro.
don't teach Louisiana Purchase. Like they don't teach anything, man. And it's sad because a lot of people have you believing that the Native Americans just gladly said, yeah, hey, yeah, Mr. Man who got off the boat, just take all our land, just slaughter us all, lead this genocide.
Who's the Asian teacher in Bushwick, Mr. K? Was
Mr.
that-
Kreshmer.
Yeah.
He is the Asian. We used to always make fun of it. The Asian Jew. I remember the Asian German.
we was flipping through one of
Germans.
we was flipping through the textbook, and they started talking about, I guess, zoos or circuses or some shit like that, and it was all fun and happy. And then he pops in a fucking cassette tape into the TV. You know how they roll the TV in, and it's just animals getting tortured in the back tents of fucking circuses. I'm like, he's like, oh, this is what they don't show you. I'm like, motherfucker, are you supposed to be showing us this?
Yo,
This man
we
was going
had some
against the
really good
system.
teachers in high school, bro. Mr. K, Mr. Wildman. Obviously,
Good
like
guy.
we always shout out Miss Cruz, Mr. McCall, Mr. Cole. Everybody from the graphics department.
But for some reason, everybody knew that Mr. Soto was a pedo. Everybody knew that shit.
Yo, even before he got bagged, when we were in 291,
just
like
looking at him.
just looking at him like, yo, dude, this dude just makes me uncomfortable. in this
It's
class.
like, what
Like
the
as
fuck?
a male, when we had computer class, it's uncomfortable to be in that class as a male. Like, and it was like he wasn't over me.
And they bagged him on school computers. It's like, how stupid do you have to be, bro?
It just shows extremely stupid and think that you can get away with it. And I mean, There's just people out there that diluted. There
That
are
was
people out there
291 though,
that
right?
people out there that diluted, bro. That dude was a fucking creep. And I remember, you know who used to always give him shit, bro?
Fucking pedo.
I had computer classes. Remember they used to have like 2 classes combined for computer class. In 291. I split that one with John from our side, White John. And he was
White
in there, yo.
John.
He used to always give that dude shit, call him names, call him fat.
Shout out to White John, man.
Yeah, man. Dude.
And rest in peace, Black John.
Yes, sir.
I still get choked up when I see the pictures of him online.
It's crazy,
I
man.
went to the funeral.
I didn't go to the funeral.
I saw his body.
I didn't want to do that, man.
I don't want to talk about that shit. But we had another fantastic episode.
Another amazing episode of Good Morning Bushwick.
Good morning,
here.
Bushwick here.
We want to thank you all for tuning in live, doing this with us. We
got to give a live hand clap
to Danny and Edric.
To Danny and Edric right now.
'Cause
breaking out those PTZs, giving us that nice outside look like this is Good Morning America.
Setting
or some
everything
shit.
up, letting the folks know how it goes, letting everyone see it.
How it goes down in
yes,
the DMs.
sir. And of course, if you need it, man, if you
Look
want
at that
anything,
shot right there. There it is right there.
if you want to come here, man, if you're looking for anything, man, you need to contact Danny because, like we said in the beginning, we are in the fall 2020.
Yes, sir.
30 Days to Rock Festival is running from now. It already started. We're in the midst of it until December 22nd when the winter solstice starts. It's fall 2020.
Solstice.
Any bands, any acts want to get out here, man?
Or anyone that wants to drink coffee, we're open
Yes,
till 2
also
o'clock.
Open on these days. On Wednesday mornings, we're open from 10 to 2 a.m. Open. So
2
come
p.m.
in. Talk about civic issues.
10
Talk about Bushwick
a.m.
issues.
to 2 p.m.
I said 10 to 2, right?
You says 10 to 2 a.m.
I fucked up. You know?
They're going to show up here. That's next year.
It's backwards when
Midnight
we're all the
coffee.
way live. But yeah, guys, you know, you need anything, you know, come here, check it out. Everything, you know, you need any type of work done, any AV work, any production for an event, man. You need to
Yes,
go
sir.
over to First Live and get all the information you can get at firstlive.us and, you know, hire this amazing team, man, because I see a lot of people putting events that want teams there, you know, audio, video, capture and everything. So if
We
you're
do it
gonna
all.
get your shit done right. By some real
We'll do it all
professionals
here, man.
at 219 Central Avenue, man. And of course, you already know who we are, man. You know, I'm Bud. That's Roach. And you know, you need anything relating to us, man. You can get it all over, of course, over at budandroach.com.
And you can follow us on Instagram at BudandRoach.
Because we do the fucking.
We do the fucking, you heard?
You heard?